Hey guys, welcome to episode 203 of 4PlayerAnimecast. I'm your host, Spire, and it is 10:12 EST over on the United States, and we are here in the latter half of the summer 2022 reviews. We're going to finish it up quickly. Obviously, there have been some delays again due to real life events happening over in Japan, but we are
Like what?
pretty much all series. Um, One very famous unfortunate event, passing of some important political figures. But regardless, most series should be on episode 6 or 7, right? Near, I think
Yeah.
most series are on about 6 or 7. So we're pretty much checking along. We're gonna do this and then one more episode, and then we're gonna head right into the fall 2022 previews. So that's pretty much our current schedule for now. But yeah, right here, and again, I am your host, Spire, and with me are my compatriots, Toast,
Hello.
Near,
Hello.
and Dark.
Hi.
All right, so
Before we
let's.
start, Spy, let me ask.
Yes,
You're Korean, right?
yes, I am.
What did you serve your mandatory military time yet?
I did not serve mandatory military time because I was naturalized as a citizen before. I
So you're a
had
fake
to
Korean?
go
I gotcha.
a faker. Well, you can say that, I guess. But yeah. So, anyways,
I'm asking because apparently season 2 of some Korean show is delayed because the main actor has to do his civic duty.
yeah, sometimes that can happen, and
I
it's
don't know
hard
which show
for a
because I
lot of
don't
people
watch
to
it.
delay. It's probably hard for people to delay that a lot. But anyways, that being said, let's really quickly go over our past 2 weeks, or past week rather. Our last episode was actually just a week ago, so again, I don't think there's been too much going on. But what have you been doing this past week? Up to, I guess, near. Starting with you.
Um, well, I got into um Tower of Fantasy. Uh,
God damn it!
the Genshin Killer. Um, it's kind of fun, pretty jank, but I got pretty lucky with my rolls, so I was like, I'll try this out. Um, and it's fun enough. It's fun to run around in the world and just collect shit.
All right,
But
pretty
yeah,
good. All
other than
right.
that, I mean, keeping up with
Mostly
shit.
just keeping up. Yeah. I
Yeah.
think again, this season is relatively good. It's not necessarily like super wide breadth of stuff, but it's like the stuff that you do keep up with are like solid enough to keep on
It's
keeping on. You know what I mean?
it's stable, I
Yeah.
think is the word I would
You're not
use.
like, oh, this series just like fell off a cliff. Fuck me, kind of do
Yeah.
business. Yeah. All right. Pretty good. What about you, Toast? Toast?
That
Oh, it's my turn? Okay.
yeah,
Yes, I have called your name.
that is your name.
What's
Past
this
week, please.
what's this about of what did I do past week?
Yeah, just
So it's,
Yes.
brief stuff for the past week.
I don't know, I
Yes.
did stuff.
Keeping busy. Real life stuff happening.
Oh yeah, I watched a movie.
Yeah.
I watched Top
What movie was
Gun.
it? Oh,
Dragon
oh, okay.
Ball Superman.
Oh yeah, I watched that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, how was that?
It's okay.
Yeah, I heard it was not very good.
It's a it's not a Gohan movie. It's a Piccolo movie. If you go into thinking it's a Gohan movie, you're gonna be sorely disappointed. But if you go on saying, "Hey, I want to see what Piccolo does," then it's a good Piccolo movie because he does 90% of everything in the film.
Damn.
Like if you don't know the basic summary, it's
Does that
Red
movie
Ribbon
have
Army's
like the
weekend.
orange Piccolo one?
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know. I
How
know
dare
a
Yes,
lot
it
you?
of people have
does.
missed it.
Spoiler.
Okay. I have no idea about like anything Dragon Ball related anymore, so I'm just dumb.
Well,
But yeah,
if
I'm
you
just
already
asking.
since you already spoiled it, it's so Piccolo realized, oh, I'm getting weaker, so he makes a wish on the Dragon Balls to for the potential unleashed stuff that Guru did. But
Mhm.
Guru's dead, so he's like, I'll make a wish on the dragon. Dragon's like, okay. That's how you get his his yellow form. That's his potential unleashed.
Mhm. Oh,
Then the dragon's like, here, I'll give you something extra. So he has so
Gun.
now he has a that's Orange Piccolo, I guess. It's the power of the Namekian race because he's got the Namek symbol now. I guess.
pretty good.
And
Anything else?
yeah, I I mean it's full CG, and it looked pretty good.
Isn't like full CG except for like the first like 5 minutes where it's like
That's
the
when they're
weird
doing
recap thing?
yeah, when they're doing the recaps, it's really good.
Yeah, it's
Really
really,
good.
really good 2D animation that's like perfectly in like old school Dragon Ball style.
Yeah,
And then the rest of the movie is CG. I remember people were really upset about that.
but the CG looked pretty good because I noticed when I was watching the credits for Dragon Ball Super, I saw Studio Orange in it as part of the credits. So I was like, huh, maybe that's why it looks pretty good.
Probably. Sure they helped out quite a bit.
But yeah, fight scenes are all right. Um, like in Broly, they made the scale of the power of their attacks pretty much what they're supposed to be. Like, oh, when they're doing their full power attacks, they shows them like a massive ball that extends all the way into space. And I'm like, yeah, that's correct. That's how their power should be. But overall, I could say, I don't know. Do you want me to make a small minor spoiler, but not really? A summary of the movie?
Go for it.
It's basically a retelling of the Cell Saga with stand-ins.
Oh, okay.
Wow, that now if there's anything that I've wanted more in my life is it's
I
a
immediately
retelling
was just like, oh,
of
okay.
the Cell Saga, but with
Without Cell.
fucking yeah.
Without,
No, I
without
think
Nori Makamoto.
Cell's in it,
That's
right?
exactly what I wanted. Yeah.
Isn't Cell in the movie?
Well, since Doc talked about it, yes, Cell is in that movie.
Yeah, so, but if there's anything that I did want, I want there to be, like, Zero Goku and, like, full-grown, lame-ass fucking bitch Gohan. That's what I want.
That's exactly what's in the movie.
Yeah, with
'Cause
his
Goku,
dumb
there's-
fucking Gohan Blanco form.
Yeah,
The worst
it
one
looks
yet,
bad.
honestly.
It
It's the
looks
worst
really
one.
bad.
It's the worst fucking one yet.
The worst part about it is it's supposed to be like, oh, remember when Gohan turned Super Saiyan 2 against Cell? It's just like that, except he's taller now. Also, his hair's way bigger. And I'm like, that hair's way too big.
Yeah, he looks like fucking Sonic the Hedgehog.
It especially looks really bad during close-ups because it's huge. But yeah, 17 and 18, they're basically Gamma 1 and Gamma 2 now.
Ah, okay.
Wait,
And
they replaced the androids?
they're new
Oh.
androids. Because
Wow.
it's no longer Dr. Gero, it's Dr. Gero's grandson. I don't remember their names because they're all similar.
So they're just
Oh.
actually re-fucking telling
Yeah,
Yeah.
remember, Toe
the
said it was
other
like a
story.
yeah.
Well, yeah, but I mean, like,
I
I
mean,
didn't
when
think it
Toe
was gonna be
said
that
when Toe
blatant.
said they're retelling the Cell Saga, I thought they were like just doing like similar story beats.
It is a
I didn't
similar
think they
story
were.
beat.
I didn't think they were literally doing like, yeah. Also, there's androids and
But yeah, it's Dr. Gero's grandson. But I did like the world building. I usually do like the world building with these super movies. Like you show the side characters doing their things, and it's usually more interesting than the actual plot of the story. Like in Broly, showed why Bulma was collecting Dragon Balls because she said she's getting old, so she wants to be what 10 centimeters taller or something, or shorter or something. And then Frieza wanted to get the Dragon Balls for the same exact thing, like because he's in his final form, he doesn't grow anymore. So he's like, I want the Dragon Balls to be just a little bit taller, so I can be more, menacing.
Threatening. Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah. And I mean, that was it. It came back in the plot point because when Piccolo makes his wish for the potential unlocked, the Earth Dragon has Shenron has 3 wishes, so Bulma uses the other 2 wishes. She's like, "Oh, make my eyelids 2 millimeters taller and make my butt more curvy." And I'm like, "Damn, you're really gonna out the dragon just for that?"
Nice.
And now,
I mean, might as at this point in the Dragon Ball
In the
Saga, might as
Dragon
well.
Ball
It might-
universe, yeah, it's like they've called on Shenron like once a fucking week at this rate. Like
Yeah, exactly.
he's
That's,
just doing
it's
his
like
fucking
can you
rounds now.
can you do some spring cleaning for me right here? It's like that,
Yeah, Shenron didn't
Uh,
exactly think through the whole fact that, all you have to do is collect 7 of these fucking things. Also, these people can like fly.
literally destroy the universe. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's
mean-
like, not exactly difficult probably to find him.
they mentioned in the movie that basically after every time they use a Dragon Ball, Bulma has a dedicated Dragon Ball search team, so that in
God
quotes,
damn it.
they're,
so
they're just
people won't
cheating. They're literally
Yes.
just cheating.
so people won't abuse the power of the dragon in quotes. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Except ex-
After
Yeah,
she
by the
fucks
time you
up
have a
her
Dragon
wishes.
Ball search team, yeah.
After she wishes for a bigger butt, she's out here being like, yeah. people
Nobody
shouldn't be-
else can do
should
that.
be-
Yeah,
people should be
exactly.
abusing the power of the Dragon Balls. Okay,
Yeah,
Bulma. All right.
Anything
some
else?
more
though?
good world building is we finally get to see how canon Android 16 and Android 21 are, and they're there in the movie. They're in the family tree. If you don't know who Android 21 is, she's the hot science lady from Fighters.
Did they do
They're-
anything?
What?
Do they
No,
do anything, or did they
just a
just show
picture.
up?
They just show up in the family tree, like, oh, here's Vomi. I'm like, oh, she's canon now. Then they showed what is it? Android 16's real name, Gevo. I'm like, oh, get it? Vomi, Garo, and then Vomi, vomit. Gevo, I don't know what Gevo means. I guess it's another way for throwing up, but yeah, they showed Android 16's human model, and they're like, oh, here's 2 mysterious beings part of the Juro family line, and I'm pretty sure they're just Android 6 or 17 and 18's human forms. Like, oh, Lapis and Lazuli, because that's their real names. So that's some good world building. And the whole point of Dr. Jiro's grandson, he's like, oh, I'm also a specialist in androids and biomedical stuff, but I prefer superheroes, so I don't want to work with the Red Ribbon Army. But then the Red Ribbon Army's like, we got money, and he's like, damn, okay, I guess I'll work with you.
Okay.
That's why he's
Well-
working with the Red Ribbon Army. Then stuff happens and whatever. It's a good
Well,
movie. It doesn't
Yeah.
really contradict anything. It's actually the furthest in the timeline because they showed Pan at 3 years old, and at the end of Z, she's 5, right? So we got to see Pan doing stuff in the movie. Also, Goten and Trunks actually being taller, not small children now. So they're fully grown, I guess. But yeah,
Now, let
overall,
me know
pretty
when
good
it's
movie.
regular Trunks becomes future Trunks.
Probably in a few more years, but yeah, decent fight scenes. This is probably the best looking like CG movie to date because it's full CG. It looked good. Gohan sucks. Piccolo, good. It's a good Piccolo movie. Who cares about Gohan? And yeah, it's decent.
Wait, is
you wanna
future
watch
Trunks
it-
in the movie at all?
No, but older Trunks, I'll say. He's still goofing around with Goten.
Okay. So
Yeah.
pretty good.
It's not.
So-
It's not as good as Broly. Like fight wise, definitely not. No way. Because 2D's
I've
better.
heard
than
Broly
3D.
was a pretty high bar. Yeah.
It was what the highest grossing
Broly was really good.
movie
Yeah,
of that.
I've seen some
year.
of those clips. Yeah.
This one.
Yeah, I mean, it also doesn't hurt that it's about Broly. Like,
Yeah. People.
yeah.
people,
To be
people
fair,
kinda-
Broly is hard to beat. Yeah.
People kind of like
Like-
Broly, so
Just
Broly's
a little
kind
bit,
of awesome.
especially in Japan.
Oh, yeah.
Like
so-
Japan.
Oh, yeah, Broly was
especially
in this movie
with
too.
Broly.
They're basically the whole point of Goku and Vegeta were they were training during this whole movie, and
Of course they were.
Bulma was trying to contact Whis because this
Aren't
is
they
a
using the
threat.
Why aren't they just using like the hyperbolic time chamber?
Wasn't it like you can only use this a certain amount of times in your life? they're off training on Beerus's planet, whatnot. And what else?
Oh wait, no, I know where
Read-
they are. Goku, Vegeta, and Beerus are in fucking Fortnite, dude.
Yeah,
Nice.
they're off
They're
getting
too
big
busy
dubs.
catching dubs. Yeah.
They're
Yeah,
doing Gangnam
Some-
style. Yeah.
there was some funny interactions between Beerus and Broly's group of gang. It's that dude. That orange dude. Oh, there's some comedic elements between them, and apparently he likes Chile, so that's the reason why they're allowed to stay on Beerus's planet. Because that orange guy's a good cook, so it's like, all right, you can stay. And Chile, you're my type, you can stay too. So that's funny. But yeah, overall it's fine, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, I
that's
also
good.
watched Suisei's concert. It was short though.
Ah,
holy
yes,
shit.
yes.
What is it, 4,500 yen ticket? You know how long it
Does-
was?
Does
45
Chile actually
minutes.
show up in
Yeah,
that
they're
movie?
there. They're
Okay, never
they're
mind.
there.
Never mind. That movie's
They're
got
on
like
the planet.
Chile rocks.
When is that?
She's a green bitch from Broly.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. No, yeah, I know. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. You know.
All right. All right. So Toast had a
Suisei's
pretty
concert, pretty good. It's
yeah.
definitely the highest. It's the best looking concert to date, probably because it's got money.
In human history.
I mean, and
But
they're obviously
it's not a Hololive concert though, so we got
Mhm.
RTX Suisei and freaking Taku Inoue in his weird ass haircut. It looks good when he's in anime form, but when he's regular guy standing next to Suisei, not so much. I posted a screenshot. See, apparently he's super short too, because Suisei's like 5'3". So how tall
Mhm.
is Inutaka?
all right.
Yeah, pretty good. Check it out if you. It's kind of expensive for its price because it's 45 minutes for a 4,500
It's
yen.
very
but
expensive. It's extremely expensive, but they know their audience, so it's supply meets demand.
it's
Supply meets
$1
demand.
supposed to be their
minute.
supposed to be their Midnight Grand Orchestra song. So they didn't get many Suisei songs, so they only got like 8. So it makes sense. But I hope they recoup the cost because this was really very high quality production. So next time we'll have more songs, so it'll be more worth it this time. Yeah, good concert.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Toast. Dark. What about you? Quick past week, please.
Tell us about Fortnite.
I beat Spider-Man. Yeah, me and Nier been getting some dubs and then getting some dubs stolen in Fortnite
Yeah.
from us. Got a pretty sick one with the Kamehameha the first time.
Yeah.
The Kamiyamama, you know?
Kamiya Mama.
Came hey huh? Came hey huh?
Came here.
Kamiyama.
Apparently, Fortnite people cannot produce Kamehameha, and it's very
Yeah,
it's very
Fortnite
like
people,
weirding me the fuck
that's
out.
what we're calling
the
them
thing
now?
is, yeah, the thing is, it's like when I saw these videos and I'm like, huh, like I want to make fun of them by like pronouncing it like that. I'm like, wait a minute, I like have to learn how to pronounce this because I can't. I legitimately cannot pronounce them the way that these Fortnite people are pronouncing them.
I mean, you're all pronouncing it wrong. It's called Kamehameha.
Yeah. It's there's the Hawaiian pronunciation too, right? It's the
The Hawaiian pronunciation is Kamehameha, is it not?
is it?
I mean, I'm
Think
sure it's
so.
Kamehameha.
Yeah.
I'm sure they don't say it like Goku.
Yeah.
But I mean, even go like at
anyways.
least they, have the right fucking. I mean, the way these Zoomers are saying
Idea.
it isn't that that's
I
not a
think
that's not a
idea.
like mispronunciation. That they're inventing a different word.
A different universe, I think.
Yeah, it's like that's not even what it fucking like is. Those aren't the letters
Yeah.
they're saying.
Anyways,
But yeah,
you're
so other
you're
than
running
that,
around blasting
running
people.
around and doing that, I'm running around playing Tower of Fantasy for like fucking 12 hours straight because, it's the start of a Genshin like gacha game, so that means that you can just get lost in being like, I'm just gonna collect one more little puzzle thing and do one more roll. Don't worry. And then, fucking 8 hours go by. You get like fucking 10 SSRs, and you're like, damn, I should keep going. Look at all
You know
this.
what
Look
I
at all
don't
this
like?
money I'm making. You know.
You know what I don't like about the Genshin the impact of Genshin Impact on games nowadays? I don't like their gotcha screens. The gotcha end screen where you press skip and it shows them all lined up in a row like that. I don't like.
Oh, you like that? I like that.
I don't like how Genshin Impact portrays it. Now it's spread to everything, even
I like
Data
it better
Live.
than the fucking like
Like,
I don't know, like the little squares most to get. Remember? But yeah, Tower of Fantasy's been pretty fun. It's got a lot of neat ideas that I hope Genshin sees and steals. And I hope other games look at some of it too. I think it's also a kind of a testament to sort of like novelty being a pretty big factor too, because this has like a lot of really weird and different shit in it. Especially with its characters. But again, like Nier said, it's extremely fucking jank. But you know, the combat's fun, and it's got a lot of new ideas. So that's really all you need, because you're not going to dethrone Genshin regardless. No one has the money to do that.
Is there anyone hotter than Yelan yet?
There's some good characters. I mean, my favorite character right now is fucking what's it called, Zero, which is another person voiced by what is his name? Same guy who voices Venti.
Murasa Ayumu?
Yeah. So you know,
but are they cuter than Venti?
no, but they're also
then-
not like really a femboy. It's kind of a
Then why bother?
what to call Zero, really. How would you describe Zero, Near? What archetype do you think that is?
Young lad.
Yeah. Shonen Shota.
Yeah. He kind of cute though. So you know, we in there playing that. I got like 10 SSR rolls now, because you know it's just such a generous gotcha. You know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the gotcha is actually pretty decent to do like free to play. Like, I mean, I don't know if I've just had godlike luck, but I've been rolling quite a significant number of SSRs from like the bullshit shit rate one, but because you just kind of get showered in for it.
Yeah. So there's two gotchas. It's like
There's
well,
three.
technically there's three.
There's
But-
limited, the normal
there's the
that's
limited
like
one.
non-specified.
There's the limited one where it's like the new character, and that's like largely like a paid thing. You can grind out the currency for that, but it takes a lot longer. There's like the standard banner, which has like I think the rates are like standard 3%, right?
Yeah, it's 3%.
And then there's like the fucking like bootleg gotcha where it's like you get showered in this currency, so you're like constantly fucking rolling. But the SSR rate is like 0.3%.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's like a regular gotcha, but you get the shitty gotcha, but they actually do give you the SSR.
Yeah,
still,
yeah,
you,
so
you
you-
do
there's
have,
no
you have a
pity, though.
chance. You do
There's
have
no
a chance
pity,
to get.
but like,
Oh,
There's no pity.
I mean,
yeah,
there's
So there's
there's
a-
Zero
there's-
0.3% is way bigger
There's
than
pity.
most gotcha games.
There's pity for the standard gotcha and the limited gotcha, but
is
there's
there
no
is there
pity.
is there a spark for the standard / limited gotcha?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, no.
There's-
So
so
I
There's
think
no
it's like
spark
Genshin's
for the
where
standard
it's
gotcha.
You
I
have
think
to
it's
think of it.
Genshin's where it's a 50-50, and then the second time you get to 80 rolls, it's 100%.
something like
Okay,
that.
okay. So there is spark. Okay.
Yeah, so it's
It's
technically
like
a
it's
spark.
like hard.
But then you
pity,
can
but yeah.
buy the weapons that they come with
Mhm.
tokens as well that you get from rolling on banners, not from the free one. Unless you get
Okay.
a weapon from the free one that you have maxed out already.
Okay.
But yeah, so I mean, it's cool to see a gacha with a free banner that isn't like,
Completely
Brand
dog
Blue's
shit.
fucking rupees banner where you may as well win the fucking like Mega Millions instead of getting an SSR. That fucking shit.
Mhm.
I don't even know what Genshin's rates are for that. I mean, not Genshin, Grand Blue's rates are for that, but it's really bad.
Okay.
But yeah,
Anything else?
game fun, game jank. At the very least, it's
Okay.
a fun thing to just kind of like, do a fucking like collectathon of. So,
Mhm.
which I'm sure will be every other Genshin clone that begins to come out. So we'll see. Yeah. Other than
All right.
that, beat Spider-Man, and that's about it.
All right. So I guess thank you, Dark, and just going over mine real quickly again. Not much past week. Been playing a little bit of the new multiplayer game, but other than that, just catching up with some series.
How are
Oh,
your VNs, Spire?
I haven't gotten caught up in the VN stuff. Actually, I need to. There's
Have you played the poker one?
what the fuck is the poker one?
What? On Steam.
I don't check Steam for visual novels, Toast.
Why
Steam
not?
is the last place I check for visual
It's the
novels. Do you
cream of the
realize?
crop, dude.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, Spire, check this out.
It's the
You have to do an
premier
age check though.
platform.
Is side error? Yeah, okay.
Are you logged into
There's
Steam? You should check it out.
fuck, I'm not gonna log into Steam. All right, I'm not gonna do this. But anyways,
All right,
uh,
here you go. This link's better.
what the fuck is this? Get this shit off my screen. Oh my god, this. Anyways, that was my my 1 week, and we should move straight on to
Wait,
this series.
you didn't say anything. You did, Spire. You just played Melty. That's it.
Yeah, I
Tell
was
us more. You
not.
eat any
It
good
was
food? You hang out with some bros? Did you watch
yeah,
Germa's? What?
I tried a crab rangoon pizza for
What?
once, which
What
is weird.
the fuck?
What's wrong with you?
But
I mean, I like.
it's like one of those like white sauce pizzas. I
Ugh.
wasn't really impressed by it, but
I
you
mean,
know,
I would hope so, but also
I
at the
wasn't the
same
one
time,
buying
it
it.
still sounds disgusting.
I wasn't the one buying it, so I was like, okay,
I mean,
whatever.
what did
Eat
it taste
okay,
like?
man?
Because crab rangoon's like
It
90%
tastes
cream
like
cheese.
it tastes like it tastes like mostly just cream cheese-ish, like white sauce cream cheese with a little bit of warm Alfredo sauce, like American Alfredo sauce, right? It's like warm American Alfredo sauce, but like with little bits of like crab
Is it
meat or like
imitation
whatever.
crab or real crab?
It's probably imitation crab. I'm
Good.
not gonna
Yeah, I
That's
lie.
don't
the
think
real
anyone
flavor.
really uses real crab for crab ragoons, to be
Yeah,
honest.
yeah. But yeah, it was a little bit weird, but again, I wasn't the one paying for it, so screw it. So, anyways, that was my week, and I guess we'll move right on to Toast.
What?
What do you have for us today,
I
sir?
don't know. I,
Some shit, some series.
well, I could talk about
Talk
Monster
about the
Girl
series that you're gonna
Dormitory.
cover.
Oh,
What?
what?
Talk about the series that you're gonna cover.
Oh, are you
I believe
interested
it.
in Monster Girl Dormitory? I can tell you about that. But anyway,
No, talk about the series
so
that
no.
we
What's the English title? What's the Japanese title?
Vermeil
I
and
don't
Gold.
fucking know.
It's like the full title is, or it's Kinsou no Vermeil, or Kinsou no Vermeil, and the full title is like
Kinsou
Kinsou no
no
Vermeil.
Vermeil Gakipuchi Majutsu no Saikyo no Yakusai no Maho Sekai wo Tsukumimasu. Blah, blah, whatever.
Yeah. So yeah, essentially it's like
You like
uh
let's see what it's pretty generic, I should say. I'm trying to think of a recent series I've watched that or talked
what
about
is
or
this?
whatever.
What is this studio? Staple Entertainment. I haven't heard of them before. What is this? Oh wait, are they like the new Comic Festa like smut series creator? What is like their only other series is 3秒後 야주 고콘데 what is it? 合コンで住みた彼はみだら肉食でした. 3 seconds later, he turned into a beast. It's like I think covered this one in the previews
Oh
1 2
yeah,
seasons ago,
yeah,
right?
we
The one
did.
where it's like they meet and then the dude's like, oh wow, let's like, oh I'm actually
Yeah, he's like
secretly a
a
naughty boy or
big
whatever the fuck it
beta
was. Yeah,
male, and then it's like, well, actually,
yeah.
well, actually,
I'm a hunk.
babe,
I'm a
you
hunk.
better get ready
Actually.
because I'm kind of abusive.
Was it
Yeah.
Wow, that's so hot.
was this
Yeah.
was this the one that was like 5 minutes and then 8 minutes for the real one?
I don't know
I
whether
didn't watch
what the
that.
times are for any of this, but I
There's
do remember
plenty
that
of
was a
them
short.
like that because there
Yeah,
was
it's like all
there was
those
that
shorts.
monk
All
one
of them.
that was the same way too.
Oh
So.
yeah. No, but aren't those like the thing is it's like aren't those all done by like a specific studio that's been made by the Comic Festa people? It's like it has like Anime Festa or some name, right? But this is a different studio, but I'm not sure if they're being sponsored by the Comic Festa people was my question. Are they? Let me check this. Is this Comic Festa? I don't think this is actually Comic Festa stuff, is it? It might be. Fuck. Okay.
It's
Anyways, sorry,
possible.
guys. So this is the same people who did this, and
Yeah, they're nobodies basically. Anyway,
yeah, they're pretty much.
so
It's kind of rude.
is this a manga original? I think it is.
It is
It's not.
a manga original.
Yeah,
No,
it's
wait, it's a
what?
manga. Yeah, sorry, it is a manga original. Sorry, I'm
Because I was gonna
dumb.
say
I
it's not
apologize.
important enough. It's not
Yeah.
interesting enough to be a light novel, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know if that's
Yeah.
really a indicator of anything, but all right.
So there's this dude named Alto Goldfield. Is it Goldfield? Goldfield?
Goldfield? I
Goldfield?
guess
Garfield?
Goldfield. Garfield, yeah. I think Garfield is.
Yeah,
Goldfield. Goldfield. I think Goldfield is the thing, but like people
Goldfield.
do
It's since filled, right?
it says field as in like a field. like a plane
I'll get
slash
it.
dash.
Vermeil in gold. Goldfield. Oh. Anyway, so there's
Anyways.
this dude. He's like, "Oh, I want to become a platinum square," which is like the magic. The magic emperor of freaking Bible Black. No, not Bible Black. The other one.
What?
Black Cat. The one with Asta. Why am I blanking?
Black Clover.
Oh,
Thank you.
Black
Black
Clover.
Clover.
Yeah.
It's okay.
It's a little bit different from Bible Black.
Sorry,
Listen,
keep
close
going. Yeah.
enough,
Sorry.
you know?
Sorry. No. It's reasonable because it's like the names are all like black,
Yeah,
whatever.
it
But
took
yeah.
three
Yeah, there's a
tries.
black book in
Yeah,
it.
Black Butler.
Black Butler.
Whatever.
Yeah, black. Yeah.
The Black
going.
Yeah.
Butler.
But whatever. Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
want to become the platinum strongest mage emperor, but I don't have a aptitude for magic, and I fail my summoning class." And he
Uh-huh.
finds an old book, and he uses that old book for a summoning ritual, and he summons a super hot demon chick named Vermeil.
Yes, sir.
Then they do stuff.
And then it's like the usual like harem kind of thing in a Magic Academy, right? I didn't watch
Harem?
more than one episode, but I'm guessing that's how it goes, right?
It's not really harem. It's just like, hey, Vermeil, you do
It's
sex.
it's pretty harem. Like
There's
the
only
girls
one
are all
other
kind of
chick,
surrounding
though.
him.
There's only one other chick, though.
There's
like a-
Lily, and then there's the from what I see, it's like the
Pretty sure there's
Elena
like
girl or
4
the white
on
girl.
the cover.
No.
Yeah,
they're
there's a
just
girl
part
with
of
white hair as well.
they're just part of the student council. I mean, the Kanahazawa character, they're student council. They're just there
Whatever.
for
Does she?
hot-
They're
Does she
gonna
not
get
like?
their shit at
Oh,
some.
okay. Does she not like? All right. Well, sure. Okay. So love triangle, I guess.
Yeah, and
Okay.
then some magic happens stuff. It's pretty average.
Do
what's his
they
name?
when you say magic happens, is it mostly like slice of life ish magic, or do they develop it into the whole like, oh, we need to defeat something dark lurking in the shadows, blah blah blah? Do they do that?
So
Or
far,
separate?
it's really pretty much academy stuff. Like, oh, you summoned a
Oh, okay.
familiar. Like, I've never seen a human like familiar before.
So like
No.
Harry Potter.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. But it's like, oh, but Vermeil's a demon, so but you gotta keep it a secret because demons are ancient disaster creatures. So they're trying to hide that she's a demon and whatnot. So like, you summon a human. What are you, a loser? And Vermeil punches him like, oh damn, he's strong. stuff like that happens. There's an altercation with the student council where hey, you're a weakling, I'll beat you up. Then he fights back, and it's like, damn, you're familiar, strong. Then you make friends.
Yeah, gets his girlfriend to beat them up. Okay, dude.
Is this grooming? Would you call this grooming? Because Vermeil's, she's the Bastionne-san, right? And then you got Alta, who's 16. Is 16 young enough for grooming? Or too old? What do you think?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure people generally consider anything below the legal age.
Yeah.
My
But
question is, I mean,
There's
this
this
series
whole
is
thing about in order for Vermeil to replenish her magic powers, they got to kiss. So I'm like, damn, is this shit? What's that series with the vampire?
there's a lot of series with vampires.
The pink-haired mocha, Rosario the
Rosario Vampire, Rosario to Vampire, yes.
I'm like, damn, is it kind of like that? I guess it is.
But
This is pretty generic.
aren't they both like high school people in that series?
Yes.
As opposed to like the woman or the demon is like an adult and the guy is like an
Let's
actual just
put
like
Spire.
underage, right?
She wears a school uniform later on in this series to blend in, so
I
it's
don't
okay.
think I don't think that's an excuse.
That's true. That's true. Okay. That's safe.
All right. So I actually wanted to go. I mean, most of this, whatever. Like again, as Toast very aptly pointed out, it's this kind of the general like plot and whatever is it's whatever. So I wanted to get to sort of an important point for me is what did you think about the voice acting slash casting of Uchida Maya as Vermeil? Because I listened to it and I'm like, I'm not convinced.
Yeah,
I was-
I would have expected something harder, but like,
yeah, because it's like I mentioned before the podcast, Ane no Mono, for those of you who don't know, is a series, is a manga series, both drawn and original story by Pochi, a famous manga artist, mangaka, and it's about like a story about Cthulhu, like eldritch god, becoming a sort of a sister figure to a Japanese boy, right? And it's like they have the slice of life stuff, right? And the trailer for that series or the promotional video for that series had Horie Yui voicing the sort of Ane, the One-san from the titular Ane Narumono. And when I heard that casting, I was like, shit. I was like, it was like a bam, like punch in the guts. It was good.
Sheesh.
Sheesh.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, like you guys agree with me, right? Or like Nier,
Yeah,
you've
I
seen
mean,
that promotional video. It was good. It was a good
I
casting.
mean, she's very, very like that voice is like. I mean,
A good casting. A good casting.
It's fucking.
It matches.
It's good shit. Yeah.
Yeah. But this, like, I think you guys should listen to. I don't know, like you at least you listen to the video that Toast linked here. But it's like I don't know. I don't. It's just it's not like Uchida Maya is a bad voice actress. It's just that she was clearly not fit for the role, either in terms of preparation or maybe her range is just never going to be fit for these roles. But it's very like, okay, that was not good. Or it was like very mediocre. You know what I mean? It was pretty
she's
disappointing.
not One enough for my taste, pretty much.
Yeah. I 110% agree. It was God, especially for like these sorts of series where this sort of casting is obviously important, at least in my
I
opinion.
mean, I think she could do a role like this. It's just that this character is.
Too much for her.
I mean,
But
this character.
this the archetypal role. I mean,
yes, but this character is fucking massive.
What do you mean?
And
wait. What do you mean? What do you mean?
look at her,
massive?
dude. Look at her. She's huge. Like,
I mean,
kinda
she
big.
it's a sexy One-san, right? It's like this is the role.
Spire,
Yeah,
not
but
gonna,
like,
her, she's tall, dude.
yeah, like she's huge.
She's tall.
A voice
Badonkadonk?
like hers
No.
doesn't really come out of like somebody that
Oh,
big.
that's what you're saying. Huh? That's You think there has to be the deeper voice?
Yeah,
Like the
yeah,
register has
yes.
to be lower.
Yes.
Damn.
When you're
So
Oh.
when
wait,
you're
what were your
dealing with
feelings on Rina
when you're
Satow
dealing
and,
with like a
like,
character like this big and like I
That's
mean
an
like
interesting. That's
I'm
a
not
big
even
shift
I'm
there.
not
Yeah,
even
yeah.
talking like chest size. I'm talking about like
Yeah, yeah,
how
yeah, yeah.
how like big of a person she is. Like
You're not even talking about like seductive tones. You're literally talking about like register, like specific.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I
Right.
think
because
I
That's
think
she's
that's fair.
that's
also, I guess she's also like
Yes.
kind of dom too. So like,
she has to have that S kind of timbre to the
yeah.
quality to her. Yes.
probably because like I don't know. I think you can have like a much higher voice, like we saw with Rina Satow in what's the Serious Spire? The fucking like
She's the
dormitory
one
one.
too. Oh, the Sunohara-san, I think.
Yeah, yeah, I think it's Sunohara.
Sunohara
But
something. Yeah.
yeah, so like I think she like her voice fit fine in that, but that wasn't a very like that wasn't like a dom based like character either, right? Like
Yeah,
she
yeah.
was
It
more of
wasn't like
like
it wasn't proactive. It was very like,
yeah.
oh, I'm kind of drifting around
Yeah, it was
somewhere.
supposed to be like the
Much like
pampering Onesan type
Yeah,
thing.
much like kind of Rina Sato herself, who in radio is just like she has a very like kind of like, oh, where am I? What is this? This kind of personality. But yeah, um, but yeah, it's I just wanted to point that out because it was very unfortunate that it's just like it was sort of the opposite of say Toisaki Aki doing Medaka, for instance, in Medaka Box,
Yeah.
where I was just like, there's no way she could fucking do this, and then she managed to pull it off. I was like, wow, okay. But like this one, it was just like, she's not a bad voice actress, but I can't give this to her. I can't give this to
It's
her.
like they cast the wrong Maya when they tried it. Instead
Yeah.
of Uchida Maya, they should have gotten a Maya Sakamoto. That was
Yeah,
bad.
that would have been solid choice. Yeah.
But yeah, other than that, pretty average.
Uh-huh.
It's not the worst thing I've seen. It definitely falls into the isekai, but not trope
They know
nowadays.
how to go do the smut. Like this studio probably knows how to do the smut because especially
Yeah.
with their history,
But
right?
it's
So
like you don't say anything, so it's like, damn. You see a big brown circle, I'm like, where's the other parts? Like, it's not there. And I'm like, damn. Are
Yeah.
we ever gonna see it? Probably not.
An uncensored version, maybe.
No,
But
never. 'Cause she's like naked. She's like naked, half fighting half the time. And it's like, it's like, oh, here's the boobies from the
Wait, so
side.
like
But
does
you
this
don't really see
even
anything.
I was gonna say, is this even a series like that that has an uncensored, or is it just like
I don't think it would.
built into the series that
I think
like
It's built in.
they
I
don't
think it's
show
just
anything?
etchy.
Yeah. Okay.
But yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, Spire. Some people can use their fucking imagination. Okay.
I apologize.
Fine. Vermeil's a good Onesan type character, I guess, if you can get used to
Mhm.
the voice. But I don't know. Alto, it's weird because if you well, I guess it has to do with the dictonomy, I guess. Or if you have the sexy Onesan voice, then you got to do with like a Shota voice for your main character. But yeah,
You think they should have just leaned into it and just like properly casted everybody too?
I
Mm,
guess. But
yeah.
the voice actor for Alto Goldfield is Yuya Hirose. It's like
Mhm.
it's a regular dude's voice.
No, yeah, I noticed that as well. I was like, okay, so that's this casting is a little bit weird.
If you don't
Yeah,
know
it's
what he
like
sounds
overall.
like, he's the Grid guy in Gridman.
Mhm.
SSSS Gridman. Gridman. He's the
Wait,
main
wait.
character.
Okay.
So it's like you can kind of his voice for that. So
Mhm.
like, do you think it's so they can make it make an excuse that it's not grooming? Because hey, they have similar voice patterns. They're not too far off.
I'm
She
not sure
doesn't
if I
sound
would
like
say
she's 10 years
that.
older. She sounds like she can be in their high school, maybe a couple years older.
Yeah, but
'Cause,
is she
I'm
even
not
like 10 years
16.
older, or is she like 700 years older?
She's an ancient
technically.
steel demon, so
Yeah,
whatever.
there you
Yeah,
Yeah.
go.
yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. But yeah,
But yeah,
and
I don't know.
yeah. I mean,
It's
again, there's
fine.
not much. Yeah. What would you grade it?
The anime?
Yeah, mouse score.
Yeah.
I'll give it a 7. Why not?
Okay. Pretty good.
It's
7
pretty
for
average.
Mall?
Yeah,
It's
of course.
it's a toast 7.
It's pretty
Uh,
generic,
Yeah,
but
I was
it's
gonna say,
not.
but like a Mall 7 for average is like
Vermeil
pretty
got
high.
7.07 on Mal as well. So they like
Damn.
their Booby Renaissance. But yeah.
Um,
Anyways.
it's pretty much pretty similar to other stuff of this genre.
Mhm.
High School DxD, Rosario. Is it Cross Vampire or is it just Rosario Vampire?
That's a good
Just
question.
I'm pretty sure it's just Rosario Vampire.
It's just Rosario Vampire. It has a cross, yeah. Rosario Vampire. Good catch.
What was the other series with the redhead chick? H got
Uh,
Dekinai? Is that another series with the hot chick?
there's a
Yes,
lot of stuff. There's High School DD, right?
that's what I just said. Yeah, High School DD Reserve
Oh yeah,
Vampire.
yeah. You're
Yeah, Dakara Bokuwa H got Dekinai about the
there's a
dude who makes
lot
a
of
contract with the
stuff.
Grim Reaper.
Yeah.
Wait, it's High School
There's
DD?
Yeah.
there's
Oh, I
the
thought we.
Shinmai
I
Mao
always
and the
call that
Testament,
high
right?
School
Did my
DxD.
mouth?
Fuck.
Yeah, isn't Shinmai Mao they have the red haired chick as well or whatever it is?
Did my Mount No Testament? No, I'd say
Yes.
that series is better. This
Oh, but it's like
one?
it has a sister role, not the Onesa role. But yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay. No.
little sister.
Yeah.
Gotta make sure, little sister.
Apologize. Anyways,
But yeah,
uh,
if you want to watch it, you want to watch. Well, I mean, watch it. No one's gonna think badly of you if you watch it. I certainly won't.
all right. Well, thank you very much, Toast,
Oh,
for helping to
visuals,
cover.
they're fine. Audio, I guess it's fine. Best character is still by far Francois. That was my dramatic pause.
I would agree with that as well. The beetle, right? A male beetle with a ribbon wrapped around its horn. I love sap and nectar. God damn it! I
Yeah.
can't believe there's an actual description for this. But anyways, thank you, Toast, for helping to cover. For male and gold, Kinsou no Parmeru.
Man, I should have covered this after or before Isekai Yakkyoku. How dare you,
Yeah,
Spire?
well, whatever.
I blame you because you're the one who told me the order. I'm like, okay.
I mean, I thought Vermeil would unfold a little bit better than it did, but apparently it
wouldn't.
didn't. So, yeah. Again, 金ソのパルメール、楽器プチマジシは最強の薬剤の魔法、あと、最強の薬剤と魔法世界を突き進む、or 突き進む, or the what is it?
Vermeil and Gold, a magician
Yeah,
pushes through the magical world with the strongest disaster.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Good English.
So, please, check that out if you're interested. Again, made by the same, the Staple Entertainment, the same people who like did the Carnivorous Dude, whatever smut from us like 2 seasons ago. So, yeah. So check this out, manga original. Next on the list here, Nier. What do you have for us today?
So I watched Hoshi no Samidare, also known as Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer.
Yeah, very old series.
Yeah, this
manga
is
original.
manga original, pretty old show, or pretty old manga. This is done by Studio Naz, which pretty rocky history. Recently they did Sabikui Bisco, which was very good. But previously they've done ID
You have to admit that they
Invaded.
picked pretty interesting series, though.
They do, but they did ID Invaded, which I think was a huge wasted of potential. They did Infinite Dendrogram. They did Origaski, which, if you remember, was so bad that the staff was actually asking, like, begging for help in the credits.
Oh no, I heard about that. Yes.
Yeah.
Sounds like
They did
they're
Hatsumete no Kyaru as well,
Yeah.
right?
sounds
I
like
think
this is
so.
on brand for their stuff because I see
But
Gumi
yeah.
and the Naughty Grizzly. What is that?
So Hoshi no Samidare is a sort of, I guess, uh comedy is series. The basic plot synopsis is um Ami Amamiya Yuhi I guess wakes up and there's a talking lizard in front of him on his bed. It basically says, "You're the chosen one. You're supposed to save the world." And he goes, no, no. And he ignores it until he realizes he has like weird fucking powers. And then he, meets this princess, quote, uh, whatever, fuck. Um, and the princess says, um, she wants to stop whatever is going to destroy the world, which is um, this big fucking hammer in the sky, which apparently only magic people can see. She says she's going to destroy that so that way she can destroy the world herself. And he goes, "Damn, that's based. I'll help you out." Um, and then they sort of just do like comedy shenanigans. Um, a bit of like, there's like some weird romance stuff going on. Um, there's some action stuff with like weird fight scenes and stuff. It's a really weird series. It's kind of all over the place. Um, but for the most part, it's kind of like a standard.
It's a pretty standard shonen anime of the early 2000s.
Yeah, like you got like weird. There's like kind of just random fights like scattered around, but a lot of it's kind of just like I want to be stronger so I can help, the girl that I'm in love with, and then just shenanigans ensuing from that. It's very
So,
this.
how important is the sort of this adventure-ish part of this? Like, you know what I'm trying to get at, right? It's like when this sort of, I guess, like, there is this like supernatural adventure going on, right? Like, how much
Yes.
of that is important compared to, um, say, like introspections or like whatever comedic snafus are going on?
I'd say not super important. So
Mhm.
the adventure, like the supernatural adventure stuff, is sort of the driving factor of the introspection. So
Okay.
basically,
I mean, as expected, yes.
yeah, I mean, I'm not really gonna get too into story beats with this because like it's pretty standard stuff.
Mhm.
But basically, um, the main character is like he's your average like glasses protagonist where like he considers himself as weak. He really only cares about his boring everyday life, yada yada yada. Um, but he is carrying some like previous trauma. Um, and the first few episodes sort of go over this trauma where previously in his life, his father was a detective, and his father was basically killed on the job, right?
Mhm.
Um, and afterwards, after hearing about this, like his mother, like fucking ran off and disappeared, basically. So he was like left alone with his grandfather, and I guess the way his grandfather uh coped with it was basically to abuse the main character, right? Um,
Mhm.
he would, I guess he like drilled it into the main character's head that you shouldn't make friends because if you make friends, they're just gonna stab you in the back. Um, and if he ever did try to make friends, he would basically abuse him. He would chain him up and like lock him in the shed, stuff like that. And the first few episodes sort of go over this um trauma. It's not handled really all that well in my opinion because it's
Mhm.
kind of just like um he kind of just yells at his grandfather It's like,
Well, a lot of this seems to be like the issue seems like the themes are like okay. I mean, they're a little bit standard, but they're fine. But
yeah,
it's like the origins of how the character themes are set up and how they start bending away from like the bad stuff, right? It seems a little bit extreme. You know what I mean? Like the supernatural adventure, but also the original background of the character seems a little bit extreme compared to the sort of character hurdles he needs to overcome. You know what I
yeah.
mean?
I mean, the backstory is kind of like, holy shit, like this is kind of,
Yeah, exactly.
it's kind of like, because
It's a bit
for the most part, the series is pretty comedic, right?
yes.
But then it kind of does this like 180 tonal shift where it starts going into like, how his grandfather like abused him and how
Uh-huh.
he doesn't really feel like he like should make friends or even like deserves to make friends. Um, and sort of like him like struggling with that with his like, you know, effectively like falling for this like princess as he's supposed to be like saving the world from this big hammer thing. Um,
Mhm.
and it's like, this series is like it's pretty out there. Like it's not like I'm not really taking like I get that I'm not supposed to really be taking like the mental trauma stuff like it's not really supposed to be unpackaged in a super like realistic way. Um, but the way they present it is also like it's not like it's supposed to be outlandish. Like it's dealt like it's treated pretty seriously, right? It's like this is what happened to me and I feel bad about it and it's something that, sort of just it's almost like a PTSD thing where he just has episodes sometimes. Um
Mhm.
and it's like, you know, in like the third or fourth episode he goes to visit his grandfather who's like dying. He's old and dying. Um and his grandfather apologizes to him because like ever since I guess the main character like left or whatever, his aunt started living with the grandfather, with the main character's cousin, and I guess him living with them has sort of softened him up and sort of made him realize like how fucked up what he did was.
Mhm.
Um, but then the main character's like, well, I was with you for 10 years and you like were constantly doing that. And if only 10 months or whatever was enough to like completely make a 180 on your outlook on life, then did I mean anything to you at all? Um,
Mhm.
and then like an episode later, uh, like one of the main, I guess, driving factors of like him like saving the world or whatever, like going through and saving the world is that, he gets one wish. Um, and then like an episode later, he's like, yeah, my one wish is I want you to save my grandfather from like this illness that's killing him or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, and it like I don't know, maybe the manga does this a bit better, but in the anime, it kind of doesn't really explain like why he wants to do that.
So
It's kind of like I don't forgive my grandfather, but like he deserves to be happy with his family. It's like,
so
eh.
my question is so there are two from what I'm hearing. There are potentially two things that could be the focus here. So is the story a little bit more like a Les Mis style sort of forgiveness centered theme that's been driving it, where it's like again centered around between the relationship between Yuhi and his grandfather, and how it kind of all pans out, right?
Um,
And his escape from PTSD, or is this related to a more general like value of life, like thinking about people and
yeah, I think
just general kind of thing around.
I think the grandfather thing is more of a subplot thing. It's sort of just like
Okay.
it's like an introspective thing that he goes through for a few episodes. But it's like, I don't know, the way they presented it, like I really thought it was going to be like this is this character's trauma, and it's going to be something he's going to have to deal with for like most of the series.
Mhm.
But they seem to kind of just toss it to the wayside pretty quickly, which to me seemed a bit strange because, like, I don't know, bro. Being abused for 10 years of your life is like that's a lot. That's a lot of trauma. Um,
So my second question is, this author, who's the freaking author here? Who the
you
hell is
see,
this? It is Satoshi Mizukami Satoshi, who
yeah,
did okay, he did a lot of not older stuff, I guess like 2000s stuff, right?
yeah,
Spirit Circle, Planet With, huh? Okay.
yeah.
And a couple of other stuff, but my question is, do you and let's be a little bit honest here, and I don't mean to be too dismissive in a sense. But do you think he's kind of up his own ass? Do you think he's kind of like, you know what I mean?
Um, I don't know. I don't know if he's like. Well, I don't really see anything pretentious of this series. I sort of just kind of see it as like really missing like um the weight of like that storyline. You know, like was
What do
presented
you
with
mean?
a lot of weight, but then the way he dealt with it was kind of just like, yeah, my grandfather may have abused me for 10 years,
So the author fumbled the
i.e.,
ball, is what you're
yeah, I
saying.
mean, it's
Okay.
like my grandfather abused me for a majority of my life, right?
Hmm.
Like majority of my fucking youth. Um, but he's happy now with like living with
Okay.
like the rest of my family. So, you know, I'll save him. And it's like
Okay.
it's you know, the character hasn't really like the main character hasn't really portrayed himself to be like someone that would really go out of his way for like someone else. Um because like for most of the start of the series it's kind of like the character is kind of just like, yeah, I don't really care about this like saving the world shit. It's kind of like,
Mm.
it's kind of like a bother. Um and then the only reason like he says that he wants to help the princess is that she wants to destroy the world herself, right? Like something
Mm.
about that, you know, sort of enamored him. Um, but it's just like, there's the main character hasn't really shown himself to like be sort of above it all and like, I guess put others before himself like that. So it was
Mhm.
really weird for him to be like, yeah, my like one wish I'm gonna use to save my grandfather who has been a serial abuser for my entire life. But he apologized to me like 10 minutes ago. So
Okay.
I don't know. It's weird. But it's like that was like a minor like subplot. It's just something that really like
Could
I
have
don't know,
been better.
something that really like
Just feels off for the tone
yeah,
of the rest of the
it's
show.
just like this is a comedy
Yeah.
series, or at least it seems to be a comedy series. And when you present like a main character with like trauma that fucking big, like I don't really expect for it to sort of be tossed to the wayside within a couple episodes. Um, but I don't know. As for the rest of the stuff, I mean, I think the comedy is solid. It's definitely very like early 2000s comedy. Um, like a lot of characters kind of just yelling at each other. Um, the I guess the dynamic between like the main two, like the main character and then the female lead, who is
Mhm.
Samidare Asahina,
Mhm.
um, is pretty good. I think their dynamic's pretty good. They got all pretty good stuff going on. The lizard is I kind of it's weird. I want to say he's not great. He's kind of annoying, but it's like it's really weird because the lizard is voiced by Suda Kenjiro, right? Um, but he's doing this really weird voice that I've never heard him do. And it's
Whoa,
sort of
really?
like
Fuck, I want to hear that.
it's very strange. So
Like, is he trying to
imagine
hide his tone?
Suda Kenjiro like voicing a kid's mascot. Like he's trying to
Like one
be
of those like meme like kitsch like banana kind
yeah,
of like
like
mid-
he's trying to be like bubbly and stuff. And it's
But
like
that's for comedic purpose, right? Like that's for clearly
But-
comedic purpose.
no, that's kind of just like his normal speaking voice. That's kind of just the lizard's normal speaking voice.
No,
And
as in
he's-
the
lizard-
lizard is part.
the lizard isn't like a slapstick character.
He's
it's
not
like-
comedic relief.
He is, but it's not like the lizard isn't going like, like the lizard's sort of role is like he's trying to be like a mentor, right? Like he's trying to be a mentor to the main character and sort of teaching him how to
Oh.
use his powers and stuff like that. And then the main character is sort of like, yeah, I don't really care, and then he brushes him off. And then like, the comedy is like, how could you be so cruel kind of type stuff, you know what I mean?
You need to freaking show me a clip of
Yeah,
that.
I'll
yeah.
see if I can clip it later. But it's like
I want to hear that.
it's really weird. Like I've never heard Suda Kenjiro do this voice.
That's
and
pretty cool though.
it's
that-
like- I'm not really sure what the direction he was given because there are moments where, like there's a scene where the lizard like his name's like Noi or something. But there's a scene where he asks the main character what is your wish, right? Because, the main sort of reward he gets for saving the world is like one of his wishes.
Mhm.
And the main character kind of brushes him off, and then he's like, the lizard gets like legit serious. He's like, no, like, do you like what is your wish? And he like in that scene, he literally like Suda Kenjiro just talks normally, and it's like,
What?
yeah,
So he
it's
changes
like,
tones?
yeah, he completely shifts tones.
Oh wait,
Um,
that's the point, right? Is that the point of like the character? It's like a Cubase kind of thing, right? It's like
I don't know
is that what
because
he's going
that's
for?
the only time he's done that.
Because
I've
it's like
watched.
he's sort of supposed to be this like not cute, but it's like kind of not as serious like character, right? Like he's like the mentor, but he's supposed to be like, oh, it's just like a lizard, and then it's like no, real shit, like what the fuck do you want, kind of thing,
Yeah,
right? It's like
I
that's
mean
the
that
whole
was
contrast.
that was like the point of the scene. But it was just
Yeah.
like it was a really weird shift because, like as like when Suda Kenjiro is doing this voice with this character, it's like you can tell it's Suda Kenjiro because Suda Kenjiro has a very distinct voice.
Yes,
But it's
yes,
like
yeah.
I was listening to it, and at first I was like, that's Suda Kenjiro, right? know? And then like when he does this shift, it's like it's so drastic. It's like, what, like this is like a different character. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It was really weird. But
Yeah, remember when you said you couldn't imagine Suda Kenjiro being a kid's mascot? But he's already
Yeah.
done that.
has he?
Yeah, recently.
When?
So has Ryo Horikawa. That's Vegeta's voice actor.
When was he a kid's mascot?
He's the Demon's driver, remember? Kamen Riders for kids.
That's not a kid's. I don't think.
I
don't
mean,
think
that's not
Veil,
really
the
a
fucking demon that like shoves his arm through a guy's fucking chest and rips out his heart. It's a kid's mascot. I don't know about that. He
The
might
voice
be in what
he's
is
doing
a
here is very
young adults
cartoony.
TV, but,
Like, but yeah.
Mhm.
As for the rest of the characters, I mean, so there's this other character that's like this weird like kung fu master, but he's kind of like a sleazeball. He's kind of not very likable in my opinion. There's some others, like supporting characters that they're solid, but I think the main two are kind of like the highlight. The lizard's like okay, but he's a little annoying sometimes. But yeah, this series feels very like It's very early 2000s.
What about the audio visuals?
Kind of both for better and for worse. I mean, the audio visuals are they're pretty they're pretty subpar, I want to say.
Okay.
Like,
I mean, I could hear that in your sigh.
so in terms of like the standard like comedy bits, like when the characters kind of just talking to each other, it's like this is kind of like it's serviceable. This is fine. There's this kind of weird brown filter on everything. I'm not really sure why they went with
What
that.
the fuck?
But when there's like action sequences, so the main like monsters they fight are these things called golems. Like they call them golems, and they're basically just these big brown lumps of mud, but they really just look like shit. Like they look like shit. And they're animated very poorly. They got this like really kind of just generic texture on them. And they move really awkwardly. When they show like the powers that the main character has, it doesn't look good at all. Can't really tell. Like I can't really describe the effect. It's kind of just like an orange like wave of VFX in the air.
What the fuck?
Yeah, like this series is very like early 2000s, both for better and for worse. And I'd say overall, yeah, I don't know, maybe the manga is more solid.
The manga's over already because it's old.
Yeah, but it's like this adaptation I think is probably pretty mediocre. The visuals are really not that great. I think the tone of the series, like, again, it's very early 2000. I think if someone's not really used to that, they probably won't like this. Maybe if somebody's looking for that, they might like this. Personally, I probably wouldn't recommend this just to like a
Unless you're
standard
like
viewer.
super nostalgic for like that sort of early 2000s
Yeah,
vibe.
unless you're looking for like the early 2000s thing. And when I say like early 2000s, I mean like early 2000s like comedy series, like sort of just
Yeah.
just like an average series that you would watch within a series, like within a season in the early 2000s. I'm not talking about like
Yeah.
early 2000s as in like, this is like a memorable series from the early 2000s. I'm talking about
Yeah, that's not.
this is like baseline early 2000s.
They didn't do anything. You're saying they didn't do anything to like pretty it up for freaking 2020, right?
No, so like I'd say like looking at the manga art, I'd say they did a pretty bad job of translating it. But it's also like they didn't do really any effort to modernize it either. So it's sort of in this weird middle ground where it's like, it looks dated even for something that's come out in the current year. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's a little bit unfortunate.
But yeah, I mean, I'd say this. I don't want to say this is like a bad series because I don't really think it's a bad show. I just think like there's some stuff that's rubbed me the wrong way, in terms of like the characterization. I do think some of the introspection is solid to decent. I think the character interactions are pretty fun, especially between the main two. It's just that there's a lot of rough edges to this show.
Right.
And I think if you can't get over that, you're probably not gonna like this very much. But I think if you can get over that, if you are someone who watched like the standard shit in the like 20 fucking years ago, I mean, yeah, you might like this. But I think if you're someone who's a bit younger and is more used to like the current pace of like modern anime, especially comedy, I think this might not be for you.
But Nier, don't you know? All all freaking animated 2000s is gold. You know what else was
Yeah.
made in the late
That's what they
2000s?
say.
It's the golden age, dude.
Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Anyways.
as we know, everything that came out within the season of Full Metal Alchemist was just as good, if not better. So,
Yeah,
Exactly. Every single
Inuyasha.
series is gold in that season or in that
Yep.
year.
nothing
So.
was bad.
Code Geass was not early 2000. That was like almost later.
Yeah, it was. Well, anyways. So thank you very much, Nier. I guess again for
They
helping
wait.
cover.
Basically, what Nier says is they waited too long to make this. Way too long.
I think that's probably true. I think they waited too
Yeah.
long, and I think the choice of
Fair enough.
studio was probably not wise. But what
They
can you do, right?
probably, I mean, in terms of like choice for studio, they probably like if it's this sort of series, you can't. I mean, like
Yeah.
if it's like something like Spy Family, like they have a choice. They can like walk in and be like, yeah, give me just like Sony Entertainment. You guys are like helping in the production company, right? You guys better pick a good like studio, and they'll just like
Yeah.
fucking rush to like this sort of series. Unfortunately, probably doesn't get the best choice of studios because of the money, but. Anyways, thank you very much, Nier, for helping to cover Hoshi no Samidare, or Lucifer and the Biscuit Hammer. It is a manga original. I believe the manga was originally published in 2005-ish, I think, is what it says. And yeah, it's been lasting up until now, and obviously, again, it got an anime adaptation. So yeah, I guess, again, thank you, Nier, for helping cover this. And moving on. What do you have for us, Dark?
So I have Fuuto Tantei, or Fuuto P, as it is known
Fire.
in some circles.
Let's get this out of the way. Spire, did you watch Fuuto Pi?
I did not.
Why not? You're the only one of us who hasn't.
Can I guess I should watch it. Is it
Well, Nier
like
hasn't
can I watch
technically
it
watched it.
standalone?
I mean, I've
No,
watched clips.
you
but
should not. You
No,
should
no.
absolutely
You
should-
not watch this standalone.
You should watch. You should watch Kamen Rider W. Is what you should watch.
in general,
Okay.
yeah.
Yes, Spire,
But
why
yes,
haven't you watched
this-
Kamen Rider Double? It's been like
This is a technically a sequel series to Kamen Rider W. In fact, it picks up directly where W left off. Which is interesting because I believe that also makes this the first Kamen Rider like a true like full sequel series to a Kamen Rider.
I wouldn't say that because
Like
mean, unless
an
you count, like-
actual like second season, like technically a
Unless you count,
second
like-
season.
unless you count
Agi-
like movies and stuff.
what
But
about Agito?
No,
Wasn't
no,
Agito
like-
a sequel
No, Agito wasn't a sequel.
to it was
Agito was
not a
its own-
sequel to Kuga? What?
I don't think so, right? Am I crazy? The
um,
Kuga? No. Right?
No,
I
I'm,
don't
I'm
remember.
pretty sure Kuga was, or Agito was a sequel to Kuga because the G, like one of the riders was basically Kuga. Was it G3 system?
Yeah, but that doesn't really count. Like, you're gonna have crossover. It's like the same thing with Shocker, and then fuck, what was that series? They like Foundation X or whatever that they like tried to make, and then like it was fucking terrible. So then it very quickly became irrelevant. I think it was Foundation X. But yeah, like you always have that sort of stuff between Kamen Riders. It's like how I wouldn't really call. Which was it? It was like Ultraman, like Tiga, and I forget which one it comes directly after Tiga. It is in world a sequel in that, like, you know, you have crossover between units, like it's the Guts unit again, but it's not the same people, and it's like 10 years later, but it's like not an alternate universe. So like you have that for Kamen Rider sometimes. But I don't think we've ever had the case where like this, where it's just straight up like, this is just Kamen Rider W. Like this is Kamen Rider Double again. Like this is a second season. of it,
Dark.
essentially.
What about ZO? Isn't that a sequel to Decade?
No.
What a wasted
No,
decade, dude.
unfortunately. Well, actually, no. Fortunately, it is not technically a sequel. But yeah. So this is like a true sequel to a Kamen Rider series, which is wild to see. But yeah, so it was really cool to see that. And you technically don't need to watch double, right? Because it tells you everything that happened in double within the first 3 episodes.
Sure,
And you can get the
but
gist. But it would
you
be very, very
should-
stupid to do that.
You should
Because
watch.
these are characters that, literally have an entire season of a series that they go through.
There's
And
a lot of characters
also-
that appear that are like, hey, like there are a lot of characters that appear that are like, oh, this is a random background NPC, but like, no, they appeared in the first season. They're important to a plot point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
also,
like Watcherman
Kamen
and
Rider
shit too
W
shows up again.
Kamen Rider W is also like
fucking
an amazing series, and you
Yeah.
should watch it. Like just straight up.
Yeah.
So
It's definitely one of the series for a first-time Kamen Rider viewer that you should watch.
Yeah, I think it was
That's
the
the recommended one.
second Kamen Rider series I had seen after. Oh no, it was the third because I went Drive, O's, and then W.
you started with Drive.
Started with Drive, damn.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
2014 was the first year I ever even watched Kamen Rider.
That's crazy.
I
Um,
don't own. I'm not exactly the same because I started with O's after a while, and then I went to double.
Damn.
I mean, I started with old VHS tapes of Kamen Rider Black, so
Oh,
Yeah,
look
okay,
at this guy.
gatekeeper. Okay.
I mean,
Well,
I didn't know. I
fine
didn't
you,
know what was going on, but
Fine
yeah.
you want to play that thing? My first experience of Kamen Rider was Masked Rider.
Yeah, I'm not that vintage, so
But
That's
yeah,
right.
so
Okay, getting into Fuuto Pie.
yeah, so getting into Fuuto, I don't even know, is it Fuuto Pi or Fuuto P? Because it's or
P?
Fuuto PI? Because I think it's
PI.
Fuuto
It's probably PI.
right?
I'm pretty sure it's Fuuto P, right?
I think
It's
it's
PI
PI.
because it's private investigator or whatever the acronym
no,
is.
it's
Yeah, because it's
Fuuto
technically
Tantei.
also called Fuuto Tantei. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Anyways,
so
Fuuto Tantei,
anyway,
whatever. Yeah.
basic premise of this series, and I will not spoil Kamen Rider Double here either.
I
Other
will.
than, the fact that it's so you have your two main characters, Shotaro and Philip. And you have, well, actually, yeah, fuck it. So you're gonna get some minor spoilers for Kamen Rider Double. So far, you have Shotaro and Philip in the agency doing shit, obviously. So in the end of Kamen Rider Double, they shut down a museum, but that doesn't stop these things called memories from being traded in the city, which are basically super dense flash drives with data that is like dense enough, essentially. Like there's so much data on them that it's enough data to transfer to a person and give them superpowers, more or less.
You mean a USB flash drive?
Yeah, it is the memories are USB drives.
Yeah.
That's how dated they
great.
are.
Yeah, they're real chunky, they're real heavy, and the belt is takes 2 USB drives. Essentially, this series opens up with them finding another case for a memory with a witch, essentially, that's stealing from people. I think they call her like the T-section witch because she appears at a T cross section commonly and then steals from people. And she's very hot, but then she appears to vanish into thin air. And so a client hires Shotaro and Philip to investigate, find her. He claims to want to see her again, so on and so forth. And then things kind of just go from there. They meet the witch whose name is Tokime. Philip falls for her, not Philip, Shotaro falls for her, obviously because she's a femme fatale and he's a detective.
Mhm.
And from there, it's the usual, like, it is very much double banter. It's reintroducing some characters and being like, hey, remember this from 11 years ago? And 12 years ago? And I say, yes, I do. And I'm very happy about everything that they've done with the characters so far. Excel has not shown up yet, which is unfortunate. But it's very cool to see these characters pretty much pick up immediately from the series. And since it's not live action anymore, you would think, maybe it won't feel quite the same. But it does. It feels just like Double, which is very, very good. And so, oh yeah, guess I should say the other thing. So Philip is essentially not human. I forget exactly what his thing is. He's like a recreation through data. So he basically becomes half of Kamen Rider Double by essentially entering Shotaro's body through one of the memories that they use to transform, and they become Kamen Rider Double, the half and half detective. Two parts of the same detective, essentially. Or
Philip,
they
you
say
can
like
say
half of the same detective, each half of the same
sure.
one detective, essentially.
You could say. I mean,
So yeah.
you could say that Philip is the brains of Kamen Rider
Yeah.
Double, and Shotaro is the brawn.
Yeah, Philip also basically has a built-in Wikipedia search where he can narrow down any information in the universe, essentially, if he has enough search tags. So you got to get enough tags, then he can find anything that you're looking for. And yeah, so what we're up to now has essentially been just the one road dopant, which is a memory user that turns into a big monster. And so spoiler alert, in episode 3, they beat its ass.
As you do in Kamen.
Yeah, and everything has been great. Like, it feels very, like, Kamen Rider. It feels like Kamen Rider Double, specifically. And they're doing great justice to the characters. The audio visuals are fucking phenomenal. And they have been for the first 3 episodes. The CG is, like, not the best CG in the world. Like, it's not like Studio Orange for all of the CG that's on screen. But as far as, like, the bike and the blending and, like, the them as Double itself, when that part's CG, it's really, really well done. It's not like low budget bullshit. It's not like fucking JC staff, like, CG getting pulled out here, which was also fantastic to see. I would argue it's better than most Kamen Rider CG.
Yeah. I mean, Kamen Rider
So-
CG is
It gets real scuffed real quick, especially, Saber. Revice has been pretty good, but, you
Yeah,
can tell.
but the mixed forms? No one ever likes the mixed forms or like the
Well,
giant
yeah, because
forms.
they're fucked up. All right, man. They're like,
Too much CG.
I mean, not only is it too much CG, to not go off on too much of a tangent, the mixed forms in Revice are two people, like, forming an
Yeah.
animal by, like, one will like hold them in like a wheelbarrow position or something, and then they'll turn into an animal
Yeah,
in that
yeah, it's
position, and it looks fucking weird. There's one where they were like, I forget which one it was, but they were basically like 69ing each other.
oh yeah.
But yeah, very strange stuff goes on sometimes with Kamen Rider CG, and this is not one of them. The music has been really, really fucking great as well as the sound design. They pull
Yep.
out WBX, the main theme, in
They
episode 3.
Yeah,
Huh?
they pulled it out pretty early. I thought they would have.
Yeah, I was really not expecting them to do that. But I guess at the same time, say they pulled it out really early in regards to the series, but again, it has also been 12 years.
Yeah.
So,
It's been
you
long
like how
enough.
they stayed true to formula? If you count episode 1 and 2 as like one full episode, and episode 3 is like episode 2, they pulled out the bike that early.
Oh yeah. Well, yeah, so that I guess that is the other thing that differs from this series so far is that it is not it's much slower. I don't know how many episodes this is supposed to be. I don't know if this is 12 or not. Check actually. I should also see the studio as well because they fucking killed it. This only has a 7.6 on Mall. Mall fucking sucks as usual. This is from Studio Kai. Studio Kai has done. Interestingly enough, they were Uma Musume. They
What?
are. Yeah, they were Uma Musume. They were Super Cub.
Oh, they
They're the
did, yeah,
Fantasy
Super Cub,
Star Online
Skeleton
2 producer.
Skeleton
Yeah,
Knight
yeah, the
recently.
Skeleton Knight as well as the most recent,
Oh,
other than Fuuto
Shin, the
P.
new Prince of Tennis, Shin Prince of Tennis. There, I
Yeah.
saw.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, if you look at Uma Musume, you can probably guess, they ain't really like holding back as far as when they really want to pull out the big shit.
Yeah.
Which is cool. This is apparently going to be 12 episodes, which is
What a
weird,
waste.
and I feel like they're gonna do more. Because 12 episodes
Probably.
is probably not going to be enough to cover this arc, considering it took them 3 episodes to take down 1 Dopant, which definitely breaks the mold from Kamen Rider because at most you're taking 2 episodes to take down an enemy, right? You're not moving on to 3. 3 is like, that never happens. Half the time, Kamen Rider's monster of the fucking week. So, that didn't happen here. And I'm curious to see if they do go, like, revert to that, to the more Kamen Rider, like, recent Kamen Rider format of, like, kind of have, like, a hard divide of the first half of the episode is, like, kind of non-Kamen Rider, like, the other stuff. Like, them untransformed and shit. And then usually, like, the second half or the final third of an episode is, like, here's the fight.
Mhm.
So I'm curious to see if they do that with the Dopants here. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. Has a really killer OP. Its ED is what is his name? Is it Matsuoka? Let's see if I can find it. It's the same guy who played Kamen Rider Eternal and did the opening for Kamen Rider Drive.
It
He
says
has
here, Big Gadgets by featuring Kamiki Aya. So let's see this.
That's
yeah,
the
the
Mitsudo
OP.
Matsuoka
Okay.
is the OP is Private Eye by Big Gadgets, yeah, featuring Aya Kamiki. And then the ED is
Yeah, that is Eternal.
yeah, it's Mitsuda Matsuoka, who has again, he did the opening for Kamen Rider Drive as well, and a lot of the Kamen Rider Drive music, and it is, I mean, for me, it's super nostalgic because again, I started with Drive, but his voice is very interesting, very unique, and the ED rocks because it's him and it's also the guy who played Kamen Rider Skull in the original double as well.
Mhm.
So having that, I believe so at least, or it's whoever's voicing Skull in this. Not really sure, but I don't think anyone's really gonna voice Skull because, spoiler alert for the first like 3 seconds of Kamen Rider Double, Skull gets fucking shot in the back like 5 times, and he's dead. So yeah.
I forget. Was Skull supposed to be the other half of Double for Philip, or who was it?
No, Skull was just the original detective. He broke Philip out because Philip was being
Yeah,
held
okay.
essentially captive by Museum. Kamen Rider Double was developed to make use of Philip and Shotaro, since Shotaro was like his understudy as a detective.
Was it Shotaro or was it Axel? Was it Axel?
I don't think it was made for Axel. I think Axel was always supposed to just be a cop. Like he was just a
Oh, because
like, Ryu
there was
was
this
always
whole
just a
thing.
cop, wasn't he?
There was this whole thing where Ryu was a better fit to be Philip's other half because he doesn't suffer from
From being fucking down bad constantly.
no he with the extreme memory he doesn't suffer any drawbacks that Philip does. Wasn't that a thing?
I mean, that might have been a thing, but I don't know if that was specifically made for Ryu. I'm not entirely sure.
Because Ryu has Gaia memory immunity, whatever that means. Okay, yeah, something like that.
But
It doesn't
yeah,
matter
so
because Philip got or Shotaro got over it.
yeah, he overcame it. Again, as with any Kamen Rider series, you scream louder and you can overcome anything. But yeah, so far there's a new big bad organization out there. Essentially, we don't know its name yet. Just know that the main villain is going to have an Aurora Gaia memory. So,
a new A memory.
Yeah, he's a real weird looking dude.
So in terms of just like again, because amongst amongst the four here, I'm the only one who does not watch Kamen Rider.
Wow,
And I apologize for that.
Spire, Kamen Rider is even popular in Korea. Why are you watching it?
It is popular in Korea. I don't know. Like I just never really got into Kamen Rider. I just don't get into like Sentai or like Power Rangers or stuff like that in general. It's not like I dislike it. It's not like I
This
dislike
is
it. I'm
different,
saying
okay?
I was
It's not
fine
the
with
same
it.
as Super
Backpedaling,
Sentai. Oh
backpedaling,
my god,
backpedaling.
this is more serious than Super Sentai,
Okay.
dude.
All right. I apologize. I apologize for making the comparison.
This isn't for kids at all. What the fuck?
See, these are the adult belts.
this is
This
the
is the
adult one,
the adult
dude.
belt. But
Yeah, my
so
CSM, dude, can a kid afford a $300 Kamen Rider belt? I don't think so.
Aren't the CSMs for the adults though?
I mean, they are, but it's like this is still for children. Like this is not. It tackles some heavy shit from time to time. It's accessible for adults.
There you go, Spire. See, here you go. Just
Well,
might as
actually,
well
no.
do
I
it.
would say
there are
I would
themes.
say
There are
Fuuto
varying
P.
themes for cars.
Fuuto P is definitely not for kids because that's the other thing that separates it. There is straight up gore and there is
Yeah.
it's not nudity, but there's not full on nudity, but there is some very ecchi scenes with Tokime. So it is definitely going for a more like fully adult series here, not like
I mean,
kids.
like
Or well,
what
I guess
kid,
like young
what
adult, like
kid
or
likes
like
detective
teen.
stories?
Huh?
Gotta be a
What
nerd.
kid likes what?
What kid likes detective stories? You gotta be a nerd to like detective stories.
Yeah, Spire.
Yeah, Nancy Drew is a fucking nerd. So I
Look at
apologize.
this. I bet Spire's
The
not part of
Drew
the Drew
crew?
crew. Yeah.
Yeah, Drew
Yeah.
crew.
Yeah. Also, wait. So this just I just wanted to get back on point, but in terms of like speaking as an outsider, so you would say like if I wanted to watch this series, you would watch Kamen Rider Double first, and
You have to
then
watch Kamen
this
Rider
is more.
Double, all of Kamen Rider Double. You have to watch every movie that's attached to Kamen Rider Double, and then you can watch this.
Or
And
at
then this
least,
is sort
or
of
at
like a
least
tribute.
That's
Like an
actually
anime
not a
tribute.
joke. So you probably have about I don't know,
So
30
this
hours of content to get through.
so
at minimum,
so
at minimum, Spire, you have to watch A to Z, the A to Z
okay.
movie, plus the original series.
So this is more
Yeah.
of like a tribute than anything else. Is like
What do you mean by
from.
that?
So in terms of like
So this is
where
a
this
manga original, by the way. I didn't mention that.
okay.
This was a manga at first. Because Kamen Rider does technically get a lot of like bonus content and sequels that's like written. I don't really think it typically gets a lot of mangas though. I think this is one of the few.
Okay.
Well, I mean, this is one of the most highly rated Kamen Rider series, right? Because
Yeah, I mean, Double is
Definitely.
like one of the top,
really
like
up there.
most
I know,
beloved ones.
I know, Build is really high up there too.
Really, Build? I mean,
Yeah,
I like
Build.
Build,
Yeah,
but
build's popular.
yeah. So I mean, I would say
W
like it's
is
like Build, then W. It's like Build, W, O's. Um,
So this is like a straight up sequel to everything related to double content, but in anime
absolutely.
form.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay.
If this was live action, like that's what I mean. Like this could be live action with the like and just continue straight up off of where Double ended.
Okay, I
Except
just
it
wanted to get that clear. Yeah.
can't be live action.
Well, yeah. I mean, it can't be because A, again, it's 12 years later, and B, Philip's actor is
Yeah.
Yeah.
held hostage by his talent agency. So
Masaki
you
suit
know,
is too popular.
yeah.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to get that clear because obviously, again, I am stupid.
Also,
And
surprise, Philip didn't have green hair in the original live action. You may be wondering, but no, he was not all green. But I guess they did that in this because he's Cyclone and Shotaro's Joker. So
okay.
You know what I want?
also, I like how
wish
Spire's out here like, hey man, I don't watch Kamen Rider, but also like it's also basically mandatory fucking watch for Nyaruko too, dude. Like you need
okay,
to
right.
for
Look at this guy.
Nyaruko, you
Dude,
need to
that
at
is
Look at
least
this
watch
guy.
O's and Double. Like
fucking
Yeah,
dark
because
caught me with my
they
pants down.
came
Actually,
out
on that
came
one,
out in
that
the
is
same
actually very
years.
true.
But
but yeah.
the problem is there is no legal way to watch Double over here.
Yeah, I mean,
So it's no
there's no really legal way to watch much of Kamen Rider,
except
but
on Amazon. But it's like you got Double. No, they only got some weird picks of series because I know
yeah,
what.
Amazon has like random shit. Plus, like now they have they're doing like Black Sun or whatever, which I'm not even sure if that's gonna come out here. But yeah, Kamen Rider, you straight up like you pretty much have to torrent it or stream it. Who would ever do such a thing?
Yeah, exactly. Anyways, any last words on Fuuto Tantei?
I was just gonna say if anyone else has anything to say about it,
I
if
want
they've
the
seen it or
when's the
watched it.
Lost Driver? I want the Lost
Dude, the
Driver.
Lost Driver's so sad. Okay.
Are you saying the way Skull uses it is so sad? He's got a sweet hat.
Well, I mean, not for Skull, but when Shotaro uses it, dude, like,
I don't know, man. A to Z when he pulled out the Joker memory, I was like, oh, that's probably my favorite part in that movie.
I mean, it was pretty good, but also, if you don't cry on the second to last episode of Kamen Rider Double, you're a fucking douchebag. So, like, you're just a fucking monster. So, there's that too. So prepare yourself for that, I guess.
I like my final thoughts is I hope this does well enough so that Bandai is like, hey, Kamen Rider's pretty good. Maybe we should release the rest of them overseas.
Yeah, I mean, there's that. I mean, but that's the thing though, is that Bandai knows. They're just like lazy or something.
Yeah, they just
Because keep in
don't
mind, Bandai
care.
regularly releases the CSM belts overseas. Like, they just, for whatever reason, are fucking stupid and like don't release the show.
Also, for a series that I would want a sequel to, probably not O's. No thanks. I don't want to know.
We got that and it was fucking
Yeah.
horrendous.
No thanks, bro.
Um,
No thanks. Maybe I want to say. Oh wait, no, 01. 01's getting a manga. That's gonna be.
oh really? That's
Yeah,
weird. Okay.
I mean, 01 might get an anime soon, so I'll
That's
take that.
cool.
Zero
I mean,
One is
Build
very
could get
popular.
a sequel as well.
True.
Yeah. 01 has had some weird ass movies. But yeah. Kamen Rider good.
All right.
Anything on your mind, Near?
I mean, I just wanted to shout out like this was Studio Kai, right?
Yeah.
They for most Kamen Rider fans, right? Like I'm not really Kamen Rider, the henshin sequence, right? Like it's usually kind of a big deal, obviously. And I just want to say, like, they did a really fucking good job. Like,
If they didn't, there would be riots.
I mean, yeah, obviously, but it's like, you know, uh, the henshin sequence in this is sort of like it's almost like more than what most Kamen Rider series get these
They
days.
went.
Oh
They went
yeah,
extra.
I
They
mean,
went
went-
extra.
They went
they
the
went
full extra
way
mile,
beyond. Like they went beyond what like actual Kamen Rider does. So it's like, and it looks really amazing too. They got all the proper fucking sound effects, and the belt makes all the sounds. But just like visually, it's like it's so much more than like what really anyone expected, that it's just like, wow. Like you can tell, the people working on this, like they know what the people want, right?
Right.
So yeah, it's just like I haven't watched this show fully yet. I've mostly just seen clips here and there. But like everything I have seen has looked really, really nice. So yeah, I'd say if you're a Kamen Rider fan, I mean, this definitely seems like a must watch. And if you're not a Kamen Rider fan,
You should be.
you should be, and you should absolutely watch Kamen Rider W, because like Toast said earlier, I think W is definitely one of the easiest to like get into as a first-time Kamen Rider watcher. Because a lot of the recent Kamen Rider stuff has sort of been like they're not like directly linked, but they are tangentially
They do play off of
linked,
like,
right?
yeah. I mean, even Revice plays off of the idea of like, one of the characters is a massive like Kamen Rider nerd, and that's like
Yeah.
part of his.
But
spiel.
like W is very much like its own product. And for I'd say for most people, like W is like also like it's got a lot more going on in it than just like standard Kamen Rider stuff. It's a bit more
It's got a good
it's a
mix
more
of slice of
serious
life.
one as well. Like it's got
And,
like a more darker themes. Like it's not like one of the more children focused Kamen Rider series. Which there are a few of those where they're a lot more goofy and stuff like that. But W strikes a very good balance between comedic, slice of life stuff, and more darker themes. Action. And it's just all around. It's generally considered one of the best. And it's good. You should get into Kamen Rider. If
the moral of the story right now isn't
yeah,
really anything related to Fuuto Tantei. It's more,
I
you should
mean,
get into Kamen Rider.
Fuuto PI is very good for everything I've seen. But also,
the bigger moral
you
is
should
you should
watch
get-
Kamen Rider.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Spire.
Because-
You should watch Kamen Rider.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, I think Nier is actually speaking to me, not the audience.
Yeah,
like,
I
not the
mean,
listeners.
it's a bit of both, but it's like Kamen Rider is very good.
Point well taken. No, I agree.
Yeah, but
Point
yeah,
well taken.
yeah, that's all I really wanted to say.
yeah, I would say my other thing is like, what I thought was really fun with the Henshin too is I describe it as like, because like if you watch, I mean, first of all, the first Henshin scene is almost like a 1-to-1 of the first Henshin in Kamen Rider Double, right? Like
Yeah,
the scenario is similar, the pacing similar, and they're very much calling back to that. But then you watch the original Henshin from Double, and you're like, oh yeah, nothing really happens. like they kind of, since it was 2008, they kind of do it, and like the sound effects are cool and stuff. But then just like shards kind of just come flying in, and then he transforms. This like Fuuto P pretty much does the henshin the way you like remember it after not seeing it for like a decade. Right?
Yeah,
Like
it's like one of those it's like one of those games that you played when you were a kid, and like you think back on it and you're like, when you're imagining it in your head, it's like the realest fucking thing you've ever seen. But then like, when you go back and like actually play it, it's like, damn, this is dated, huh? But it's like, yeah, with Fuuto PI, it's like what they animated is sort of like that image in your head of like, damn, that looked amazing back when I watched it. But yeah, it's really good. It's a really good sequence.
All right. Well, thank you, Dark, again, and thank you again, obviously, to Nier and Toast as well for helping to cover Futo Tantei, Futo PI, Futo P, whatever you want to call it. Again, the anime sequel to the Kamen Rider W or Kamen Rider Double series. So please, if you are a fan of, I mean, if you are a fan of Kamen Rider, you probably know about this already. So I don't really need to say it, right? It's like
Yeah.
you probably know about this already. So, but yeah, if you are interested in consuming more Tokusatsu content, then please check this out.
The real question is, who is the hottest Kamen Rider girl?
God damn it.
I
We
mean,
are
s-
not.
the
I s-
girls in Drive, are some of them are literally like Jav actresses. So
I say the hottest Kamen Rider girl is Izu.
really,
What would you say, Dark?
probably the
Aguilera?
girl from Drive. Aguilera is pretty good actually. Um, I'd have to go back to some of them, honestly.
What about you, Nier?
But yeah, I think the girl from Drive.
I'm gonna cheat and I'm gonna say the girl in the Shin Kamen Rider trailer. She's a beauty.
You're not allowed to do that. That's not out yet.
Yeah, well, too bad.
Anyways, moving on, I guess again.
Oh wait,
the
Philip's sister.
Uh,
Remember
True.
that? Remember her?
True.
who's the chick from
Alright.
Saber? That was a waste.
All right, I want to move on. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean
Thank you.
that is Saber. Just as final thoughts, by the way. You can skip that one. Don't watch Kamen Rider Saber or Ghost,
Alright.
whatever you do.
All right. Well, I do want to move on from the Kamen Rider discussion, but I'm going to be taking ahead for the last series that we're going to cover here, and it is I spoiled the title beforehand, but it is Lycoris Recoil, and I do want to
Lycoris
say
or
that
Lycoris? I've heard them say both ways.
it's Lycoris.
It's
Yeah,
whatever
it's
you feel in the
Lycoris.
moment, bro.
It is licorice. I don't know who the fuck is saying licorice, but they are wrong. It is
Lycoris,
liquor.
like the flower.
Whoever is
I
saying
mean,
licorice
yeah.
is not correct. But it is Lycoris Recoil, and it is a anime original created initially by, I think it's like a general production committee that was headed by Spider Lily, which is essentially just like a bunch of people coming together from Kadokawa, Dentsu Entertainment, Sony Music Entertainment, like the big boys, Aniplex, the big dogs, pouring money into pouring money along with Asaura, who is the original writer behind Bento. If you guys have heard of that series, it's been a while, but it's a very good, it's a very unique, it's a very good, unique series. You should check that out. But that writer got a bunch of money from Spider Lily, again, this like sort of um agglomerate of big dog Japanese names, and it is being produced by A1 Pictures. So when we first saw this in the preview, we kind of thought Well, okay, it's just kind of from the premise, right? It's just kind of gonna be whatever, right? We didn't kind of think much of it. The art was pretty innocuous, whatever. But in Japan, it has blown up currently to be honestly one of the biggest series right now, one of the most popular and biggest series amongst the anime season right now. And when I initially saw some of the Japanese reviews of it, and they were like, "Oh, this is a fucking like kami anime, right? This is like a godlike anime." I was like, "Huh," because usually they don't. I mean, like Japanese people obviously have some weird like ish like takes and stuff like that, but they don't necessarily always call like every other series a godlike anime. And I thought I was like, okay, well, what's up with this? Let me see it. And like everybody else was like reviewing it and they were like, oh, this is so fucking good. This is so good. And so I decided to check it out. And I guess, you know, I guess, I'll save my impressions for later, but I was at least pleasantly surprised by what I saw. So the plot here, giving a quick plot summary, it is Takina Inoue, and this is the black-haired girl, the long-haired girl you see in all the poster arts, a high school girl working as a member of an all-female task force of assassins and spies, known as Lycoris, are dispatched to eliminate criminals and terrorists in Tokyo. So Japan is currently like it's like a future in which Japan is like, quote unquote peaceful because there are all these like female girl assassin or female like young assassins out there trying to like eliminate criminals and stuff like that beforehand is so she's one of them and she's sanctioned by her superiors at the DA or known as Direct Attack Agency, who are the people who are employing the licorice, the female assassins, for disobeying orders in order to save a colleague. She's transferred to work with the elite licorice agent Chisato Nishikigi Chisato. So that's the short hair girl in the front at one of the agency's branches, which operates under the cover of a cafe called Licoreco. So that's the quick like summary of it, and then like Chisato and like Takina kind of go off and do their own like adventures or do slice of life stuff, and that's sort of balanced. But just beforehand, let me just go over again. It is A1 Pictures. The director is taking on a lot of he's I wouldn't say micromanaging, but he's taking on a lot of different stuff. He's doing the direction. He's doing helping out with a script and storyboard as well. Adachi Shingo, I believe. Yeah, Adachi Shingo. He was previously known for doing a lot of the key animations and doing chief animation and like key art for and character design for stuff like Goblin Slayer manga light novel like spin-offs and stuff like that. He helped out with what is it? He helped out with a lot of like Mega Man stuff. He did Shuffle. He did Sword Art Online. He was like the chief animation director for like most of that stuff. He was chief animation director for um some of the stuff in Working, and he was he did the character design for the anime for Working. So again, he kind of knows what he's doing, and obviously I would say the people in here are sort of like the people that I'm going to introduce is sort of I wouldn't say it's like assembling the Avengers or anything like that. It's not like Chaos Dragon or like Kofuku Graffiti where you like just a boom, 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 boom. You saw these names and you're like, what the fuck? Like they're all working on this one anime. It's not like that, but they are all very like you were like, oh, these people, they're good people. So they brought in a he brought oh they brought in a good team. They had plenty of money, obviously. Shigenaga Ryosuke and Mutsuke Shuhei kind of helping to work on the songs and like OPED kind of stuff. They worked on they worked on I guess a bunch of sort of isekai stuff as well as Sword Art Online, and they have Domestic Girlfriend, Sword Art Online, Record of Granker Senki, what is it? Himegoto, Flying Witch, Grimgar. They have a lot of good stuff here. Asaura, obviously, again, the original creator of Bento. Bento was just the light novel that eventually got made into an anime. Again, it's a very unique. I don't know whether I would say mellow, but it's a very unique tone. It's like you don't really kind of expect the type of story in Bento, and I would suggest that you guys read it or watch it. Um, if you guys think that the sort of angles and like the proportions of the faces in Lycoris Recoil seem familiar, that's because it is. Konobi, this art club has a problem. That is the manga is made by the same person who does the art for Lycoris Recoil, Imi Kimuru. And again, a lot of the other people are veterans. The art direction, as well as chief photography, and the other people, the audio directors and stuff like that, are all veterans doing just coming in as per usual. So they're all like, this is a very solid team. Again, you wouldn't say this is like an Avengers level sort of team. Like, oh, you see the names and you're like, what the fuck? My eyes are popping out. But they are all very solid people. The voice acting casting is very good as well. Like, it was one of the few times where I listened to the voices and I was like, wow, these are good castings. Like the main girl, one of the main girls, Chisato, again, the short hair girl, is done by Anzai Chika. And she, sh I forget what other roles she did recently. I'm like really bad at like, oh yeah, so she's, I guess one of the more like known roles is Kosaka Reina in Hibike Euphonium. So let's see what else. Oshitaruka, Girls in Panzer. What else is there? But yeah, so she, like when she's doing this role, she's doing Chisato. She does a very she does a really good job voicing it. She does the energetic like sort of Genkika role that like that fits this role, but then she also managed to put a little bit of grit, a little bit of kind of like in the voice, like a little bit of grunt in the voice that really gives it that like edge, that really gives it um that like not petulant but namaiki, right? In Japanese, like the saucy kind of like fuck what is the adjective? I keep forgetting.
What do you mean?
Impertinent,
Right.
impertinent, sort of like
Oh.
cheeky kind of vibe, right? Almost like a Yuki Aoi kind of tone, that really fits this character. So she does that well. There's also Kuno Misaki, again known as sort of like the professional kindergartner, right? She does a lot of these like very babyish roles, most known for yeah, Ichara Nina in Idolmaster Cinderella Girls, like just doing very baby like kid like roles. And she does a very much like she does an older role and she does like a very like dark role. I mean, she still like acts out a younger girl, but she does a much more like deeper tone. But she does that very successfully. She carries out the role very successfully, and I was very surprised about that. And of course, the villain, one of the villains in is done by Matsuoka Yoshitsugu. Matsuoka Yoshitsugu being known these days as the man behind 1,000 protagonists, right? Obviously, most well known for his role in with Kirito in Sword Art Online, obviously. But he does the villain, and I have always thought that honestly, Matsuko Yoshitsugu does really well with like these sort of psychopath slash sociopath style voice acting roles, just like fucking Nobuhito Okamoto, right? Okamoto Nobuhiko, who does like Accelerator and stuff like that, right? He does this like yeah, I'm about to fucking go crazy and snap your neck, kind of like voice acting roles very well. He does them honestly. I think these roles, in my opinion, fit him better than a lot of his like standard just like, oh, I'm the hero that never gives up, I'm the main, like he does those very well, as obviously because he's a good voice actor. But I think he's fits so well in these like villain roles, almost like in my head, Matsuoka to these like sort of psychopath like sociopath villain roles is the same level as me thinking like Hanazawa Kana in like supporting sort of Imoto, like very kind of like those roles. Because I've always thought again she does better in those like supporting Imoto kind of, or even like Onesan roles these days, than she does in a lot of her main roles, where she kind of just gets pigeonholed into that like, oh, I'm just Hanazawa Kana, just listen to me kind of roles. But I think this role suits Matsuko very, very well as in that similar sense. So voice acting cast very good. The staff is all very solid, and it's just this also exploded, and I think also apparently we talked about this before the podcast. Apparently Hideo Kojima kind of chanced upon this while he was like messing around with Netflix for some reason. And then he saw it and he apparently really, really liked it. So now it's on social, like randomly going around on social media as well. So,
Yeah, people are
anyways,
going to very quickly realize how much of a fucking nerd Hideo
yeah,
Kojima is. That not
exactly.
everything he likes is like this fucking highbrow auteur shit. Again, Hideo
Yeah,
Kojima, massive tokusatsu fan as well. So
yeah.
like,
And he likes Game of Thrones or whatever it is, right? Like he's like, oh, fucking
well,
dragons.
I mean, a lot of people like Game of Thrones. I would
Yeah.
be.
But you
The
wouldn't say
big
it's
question is,
highbrow.
did he like Game of Thrones season 8? That's the big.
That is a bit. But
Because
yeah,
there are some there are some game
Yeah,
developer writers
I
that
mean,
do like that.
Kojima recently, I think, came out and said that what was it? Nope. That's the new one, right?
Is bad?
He said
I hope.
he said it's the most beautiful movie he's ever seen.
Okay, well, that is from every source that I've had on good movies, that is just false. So,
Yeah.
but also ultimately unsurprising.
yeah. But anyways, going back to Lycoris Recoil again, the general plot is again you have these orphan girls who are kind of brought in to be trained assassins at a young age, and they take out criminals. Um, they shoot people, they drive around. It's like the whole like kind of like Jason Bourne kind of shit going on. But they are deployed by the agency to just go around again, hunt down villains and criminals. And one of them, Takena Inoue, uh, Inoue Takena, is kind of very stoic. She's very dedicated to the agency because she's, as an orphan, this was sort of the only organization she knows. And she has a penchant for kind of like, uh, she cares about her friends, but she's also very kind of again loyal to the agency and the rules and stuff like that. So she makes a mistake. She gets booted to the booted to where Chisato is, and Chisato is kind of like, oh yeah, she's not like fuck the rules or anything like that, but she's got her own philosophy and she's very willing to follow it. And one of her philosophies is she doesn't want to take life. So she's very good. She's like on a very elite. She has this sort of like almost superpower talent where she can see the muscles and like the movement of um her like enemies, and kind of predict the movement and like where the gun is gonna be shooting, or like where they're like gonna punch or do whatever. And she can use her superhuman reflexes to dodge the bullets and stuff like that. So you'll have these like action scenes where she's legit just like people are trying to like shoot her like pretty much in front of her face, and she's just like boom, like bullet time, just like dodging all of them. So it's almost pretty much like a superpower. But she always tries to carry out whatever mission that the DA agency gives her in a way where no lives are taken. So even like the assassins that are trying to kill her escort, or the assassins that are trying to kill her, she uses non-lethal rubber bullets to take them out or to incapacitate them. And then she kind of goes along and fulfills her mission, or goes along on her merry way. So she's the black hair girl Takina is obviously kind of perplexed by this. It's like, why are you, you have to carry out the mission, right? We're all female assassins. You should dispose of these enemies instead of going through the extra efforts to try to save them with like rubber bullets and stupid shit like that. And Chisato's like, again, I don't like taking life. And the rest of the series is about how Takina and Chisato kind of go through, again, trials and tribulations as well, but also how Chisato changes Takina, or Takina is changed by Chisato and the people around her at the new sort of cafe, cover cafe, Lycoris, to become more understanding, I guess, to become more like, oh, it's good to make sure that if I can, I'll try to save as many people as lives as possible instead of just being, the female assassin that I was. So it's sort of like that development. As for the general format of the series, it is a mix between it's very bipolar. It's like it is similar to Bento in that sense. It's like the overall tone is very mellow. It's almost hard to call it even mellow. It's like bipolar, but then it kind of averages out to being mellow because half of it is almost strictly just like slice of life, boring, like not even like parts of it are kind of boring, but it's like very slow slice of life, just like kind of events happening, like, oh, we're all happy, like things are happening, and like slight comedic stuff. There's nothing like huge slapstick, like, tsukomi, like manzai kind of stuff. There's nothing like that, but there are like mild comedic like elements to it. And then, most of it's kind of slow slice of life stuff. And then it's interspersed with this like extreme action, like this development about like, oh, she's got to kill her, or like, oh, this person's getting kidnapped, or like, oh, this villain's escaping and this villain's about to kill the girl, or whatever it is. So it's interspersed like that. So it's very bipolar series, and each half of both the slice of life half and the extreme half are very much set in their own tones. And what I mean by that is like usually these sorts of like, dark magical girl or like female assassin, we were all orphans, but then there's the dark part of the society and blah 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 blah. All those always have this sort of like underlying continuous tension, right? They have this thing like even during the slice of life scenes, they always like the author or like director always tries to fit in this like kind of like dark mood behind it, right? It's like, oh, we're all going out for cafe, but you remember we're all freaking killers, and they have this sort of like foreshadowing or like warning behind them, this mood, this atmosphere that's created even during the slice of lifetimes where everything's dark. That, or it's like you have like a fully comedic series where it's like, yeah, you have the action scenes and you have like bang bang, like shoot, like gun shooting, but it's pretty much the focus is like comedic. What the Bento author does with Lycoris Recoil is really do a balance where it's like the slice of life tones are like very fully slice of life. It is like the author's just like, no, this is slice of life. You're gonna get a slice of life episode for whatever, and you as the listener, or sorry, the viewer, you're not even gonna think about the other stuff. Like you're gonna have like kind of some references to like the development of the characters and stuff like that, but it's very slice of life. There's no dark like undertone or anything like that. Whereas on the other hand, the action stuff, and it's like boom, 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 the assassin stuff like that, it is suddenly like super intense. So these tones are always changing, but it's never like always dark or always light. It's very bipolar in that sense. And I think that's again similar to what Bento does. And it's just a very interesting way to write a series. It's definitely unique and something that I don't really come across often. So that's that. And what I kind of, again, I don't really like going it fully into like the overall series plot too much because I don't want to spoil it for people. Um, Let me see this. I wrote some notes, but there's also like no really like throwaway like Yuri fan service where they're just like suddenly it's like, oh, I'm gonna like get close for a kiss, like an accidental kissing scene or whatever it is, blah blah. They Chisato and Takina really act kind of just as female like high school friends, or like two kind of buddy like friends, and they don't. It's not like there are some series where they have like two girls and they're like, you know, I we've been through so much. You know, you, you're the only thing I have. You're the most precious thing to me. And they try to force this like very almost like Yuri moment, but Lycoris Recoil very much kind of keeps it at like the kind of we're friends. We're very good friends kind of vibes here. So I do
Tell
like
that to
that
the
instead
front
of
page
like
of Dan, bro. Okay.
yeah, you know how it is. Two girls meet and it's automatically just like Yuri. So that's the rules. Them's the rules. But I do like how they keep that like that. The author keeps it at that level, so that's good. And there's also a nice sort of gradual introduction and slight development of the overall cast throughout the episodes. So I think the author does well on that front as well. Um, so what there is a flaw I want to say in the series, and it is I don't know whether I would say it's somewhat similar because Bento didn't really have this flaw because Bento was a little bit more bent towards the general slice of life comedic thing. So it had the action, but it had that sort of like not slice of life, but like comedic backbone, and the rom com backbone on which it could always kind of stand upon, and people kind of knew what it was about, and like it kind of went back to that, and it could kind of use that over and over again. The rom com, the will they, won't they, between the main girl and the guy, and whatever the rest of the development of the MC towards like the universe of Bento. So there was that backbone that Bento could rely on. But with Lycoris Recoil, they have the initial thing where it's like they have the development of the main characters, right? They have the development of Takina, like how she grows according to the people around her, and Chisato as well. And Chisato's backstory, like why she became this elite girl and how she became this person that wanted to save lives all the time, even though she grew up as like a female assassin, right? Like why did she go from a female assassin to this person that like only shoots rubber bullets, right? That and then like the whole like, oh, what's that in the shadows? The secret organization that might be evil and blah 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 blah. And there'll probably be some gray morality shit, later in the episode in later episodes, right? The standard kind of fair-ish thing, but the setup was really good in episode one. But then when it kind of switches to the slice of life parts, which happens in I want to say episodes 2 through 4, although episode 2 is technically like it's an action sequence and it has like a mission kind of related thing, but I would almost count that as like a slower episode, not a slice of life episodes, but I would count it as like one of the slow episodes. So episodes 2, 3, 4, as well as episode 7, I would say are the sort of slow slash slice of life episodes that, in my opinion, are a little bit too disconnected. So it's okay for me to have a slow slice of life, like change of tone. But the idea of, in my opinion, or from what I'm seeing from the series, right? The point of those slice of life episodes is to really drive home the humanity, the difference in perspective, the difference in interaction, the how Chisato approaches life, how Chisato approaches society, and how the rest of Likoreko approaches society, um, and how Takina deals with that and says, "Oh, Chisato and the Likoreko crew are doing something else. They're not as uptight as I am. They're not all, kind of champing at the bits trying to kill criminals like I am. Oh, okay, I see. This is their humane side showing up. I could learn from that. And so for me, at least, those slice of life is supposed to continue that development, right? Those quiet moments, like Chisato is again showing her humane side, and this is what it means, blah blah. And it's supposed to speed up that interaction. And uh, what's more, not only speed up that interaction, but for me, it would be good if it could speed up that interaction in a more organic, more novel sense, other than just like, oh, Chisato's being nice, so I gotta be nice too and not a fucking assassin. It would be nice to have like a more like not standard, organic growth. But in these slow episodes, what kind of happens is the slice of life parts happen, and it's pretty much just that. It's just like the slice of life stuff, and it's very disconnected from any sort of real significant development or like introspection of Takina doing any sort of introspection. No real like full like conversations between the two where you're like, oh, okay, this is a very like organic way to develop Takina here. A lot of it like at most you're like, oh, Chisato's being nice to the kids, so oh, okay, this is what it means to be, a functioning member of society, or like. Or like after like the slice of life part, you'll kind of like the series will kind of relapse into this part where it'll be like, oh, let's reveal a little bit more Chisato's backstory, or let's like have a little bit of like Takina introspection, but that's about it. And so a lot of these slow slice of life parts are very disconnected from, in my opinion, its main purpose, which is again to show that humane side of Lycoris, to show that humane side of Chisato, and contrast that with what Takina was originally as a person, as the female assassin. So I think that's the one sort of major flaw of Lycoris Recoil. I'm not sure I would say it. I'm not sure if I would say it's a major flaw or it's like the major flaw, but I would say it's a moderate flaw that it would be good to kind of patch. It would have been good to kind of patch up. I think it doesn't like dent the series really. It doesn't really like it doesn't really change my opinion of the series of, I think it's a very good series still, but I do wish those episodes would be a little bit more properly mindful of the interactions and the developments of the characters even during the slow moments.
Yeah,
However,
instead of just feeling like like a break
yeah, just
more
like,
than
oh,
anything.
slice of life. Yeah, yeah, exactly,
It's like
exactly,
here's a
exactly, exactly,
breather.
exactly.
Like,
Yeah, yeah,
well,
yeah, yeah. Yeah. It's the very
you know,
like I don't like saying it,
I
but
think
it's
those
like
contrasts are kind of weird just because it's like, they go like here's a breather, but then you're kind of
yeah,
you have in your mind that the other aspect of the series is right around the corner anyway.
yeah. It's essentially very close, or it's essentially what, the Naruto, Dragon Ball, whatever, like Beach people always call like, oh, that's a filler. It's like I don't want to say that it's a filler because I'm not trying to justify like, the flaws in Licorice Recall, but it's very disconnected from the main sort of currents, the thematic currents of the series. So that being said, though, when the episode, episodes 1, 5, 6, parts of 2, and obviously 8, the most recent one that I watched, get to speed and get to the development and it mixes up the action. The action is like all good. Like the audio visuals in this are just they're good. They're good. The people, they have a lot of money and the blending is all done well. The 3D stuff is used in proper places and not just, like doing weird like insert dance bullshit. The animations are all just they're good. They're very solid. Um so when these sort of fast, I want to say episodes 1, 5, 6, 8, and parts of 2 really get going and show the development and have the villain pop up and they're like interacting with each other and they're talking and they're, kind of establishing what the plot is a little bit more. It is so good. Like I can't it's so good. Fuck. Like it's just like I wouldn't say it's like necessarily that unique, but the way but it's certainly uncommon too unique. Like a lot of the interactions and like the way that the interactions happen organically. And just the way that like Chisato handles people and the villain responds, the main villain Majima, what is it? Who is it? Yeah, Majima. Majima handles his philosophy and the development and the way that the general sort of main cast sort of tussles with each other is just like it's really good. fuck, it's really good, and it makes up for all of the sort of slowness of the slower episodes. And I would also like to say though, in the s- slower parts, like when they go back into sort of explaining more of the plot, as well as some points in the faster episodes, there's a little bit too much foreshadowing, and I would like, that's a little bit of my bias, but I hate like they like do one foreshadowing, two foreshadowing like every like 4 or 5 episodes, but don't fucking do this shit where you're like, you know, I'm just like a sneaky guy, and it's like and then they just look up at the Tokyo night sky and just like, oh, boom, it's like it fades away. Like, don't look, just don't do that more than once per like 4 or 5 episodes. Don't give me that shit. I'm not impressed by your foreshadowing. I know that you guys are gonna give me this like shadowy society with gray morality. I'm not that impressed. Just give me the development, do the organic interactions, stop giving me this like foreshadowing. So a little bit on the nose, but the fast parts are just like, oh, the action integrated with like the Chisato just like growing, like the interactions and the background development, which is pretty decent. At least for now, it's not shitting the bed yet. I hope it doesn't shit the bed. Along with like a villain, which was slightly better than I expected. This all combined to make a very good potpourri of excitement. So overall, I do think it's a very quite a solid series. I'm not sure if it would be solidly within my anime of the year candidates just yet. It's like obviously again from like the couple of like flaws that I mentioned, it's not like everything's perfect, but it's just like it's like a solid car that, when you get it warmed up, when you drive it for, 10, 15, 20 minutes on the highway, it's fucking smooth. It's like that feeling. It's just very solid when it gets properly going. And my hope is that the rest of the episodes that it has, I think it is 12 episodes, right? The rest of the episodes that it has, it, delivers and it just, speeds on through to the finish line. If it does that, definitely potential anime of the year candidate, I think. It definitely surprised me. I didn't expect jack shit from the series when we first previewed it. I looked at the premise, I was like, yeah. Girls doing, slice of life stuff. Maybe they'll do more slice of life and then they'll fuck off. I was like that. I was very pleasantly surprised. The development when it gets going is extremely good. It's very good. Maybe cut down on the foreshadowing. Make sure the slice of life is properly connected to the development, and just you'll have me hooked. And yeah, I think that was about pretty much all I had of Lycoris Recoil. Again, it was a very, very pleasant surprise for me, and I'm glad to have checked it out. Very solid series overall. And again, the flaws that I mentioned, I would say almost the foreshadowing thing is more annoying to me than the slow slice of life stuff, because it's like the slow slice of life stuff doesn't too much like hamper what the series is going through, unless that happens in like the next like 4 episodes, and then it just like fucks up the plot timeline. But the foreshadowing shit always gets me every time. So yeah. Anyways, that
So
was
is
my
Licorice Recall the one where the girl's face gets shoved into a butt?
is shoved into what?
Is that the source of the famous meme
What meme?
where the girl's face gets shoved into someone's butt?
Into someone's I think I know what scene you're talking about, but I'm not. I don't know. I don't know what meme it is specifically because I don't really. I probably know the scene you're talking about. It's like when they're in like a bar or like a ballroom kind of thing. Not a ballroom, but it's like they're in like a fancy restaurant kind of place. Okay, but yeah. Um.
It's episode 7 apparently. Okay.
Yeah. They're like the girl with the suit. Again, it's Takina with like the suit is like it turns around and like sees the butt of like Chisato. But yeah, that's just like a specific scene. Anyways, that was me for Lycoris Recoil. Apparently, I did get a 8.24 on mouse, so I haven't lost all hope in humanity. If this had gotten a lower score, I would have been fucking angry. But yeah, that was me on Lycoris Recoil. Anime original, helped produced by Arauda, who did Bento and Spider Lily, a bunch of big dog Japanese anime entertainment names, and produced by A1 Pictures. So, yeah, it's that scene. Yeah, but yeah, please do check it out. It is a pretty solid series. Again, made by the same Bento guy. If you don't know what Bento is, go freaking watch it. Watch Bento. It's a good series.
Fire, I'll watch Bento when you watch Fuuto Tantei.
Touche.
You mean Kamen Rider Double first,
Yeah, exactly.
and then A through
Yeah.
Z.
Yeah. Anyways, so next on.
So, are you saying Lycoris Recoil is the anime of the season?
I wouldn't say it's the anime of the season. I haven't watched the what haven't I watched actually? Um, let me see this. Let me look down this list real quick. It would, I mean, it's close. It's like one of definitely like top. I would say it's definitely within top 5. Yeah, it's definitely within top 5. I haven't watched Prima Doll yet. I need to watch Prima Doll, see how that's doing. But I would say it's definitely within top 5. Maybe it's within top 3 for this season. But
Damn, higher than Fuuto Pie, huh?
yeah. Anyways, so that's my review on again Lycoris Recoil, and moving on now to the news. We don't have that many pieces of news this time around, so again, it's only been 1 week after all, so just 2 pieces of news. One, the Harvey Awards, which honors outstanding work in comics and sequential art, announced the nominees for this year's awards. And Thursday, the nominees for the best manga category are Blood on the Tracks by Oshimi Shuzo, Blue Lock by Kanashiro Muneyuki, Cat Gamer by Nadatani Wataru, Chainsaw Man Fujimoto Tatsuki,
Huh? Never heard
Red
of that.
Flowers.
Never heard of that, yeah.
Exactly. Tsuge Yoshiharu's Red Flowers and Endo Tatsuya's Spy Family. This is the second year in a row in which
What?
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 What did you say?
What?
This is the second year in a row in which Chainsaw Man and Spy Family garnered nominations.
Damn, that's
So,
crazy that I haven't heard of them.
But what
Yeah,
about
exactly.
what about My Hero Academia? I heard that it's pretty hot right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, right now as opposed
Yeah.
to not before. Yeah.
Well,
But
there are recent events making it hotter, I believe is what Toast is
Yeah.
referring to.
oh yeah, there's even a hashtag on that. Jesus Christ. But anyways, so if you guys, you might, if you guys are interested in any of those, please do check them out. And the other piece of news, this isn't like, again, this is out of our usual kind of type of news that we do, but it was pretty funny, so I wanted to include it. The official website for the original anime AQ Shonen Eternal Boys revealed on Wednesday the first promotional video, additional cast visual, and October 10th premiere. And this is apparently an anime about original middle-aged idol, or sorry, middle-aged idol like group anime series. So let's see this. So this is going down the cast, by the way. And Dark, can you like post some of these like pictures or something like that? It's like, so it's like it has
Hold on, I gotta find it.
Yeah, Kentaro Sanada, a 40-year-old salaryman whose company suddenly went bankrupt. Naoki Ishida, a 39-year-old former junior high school teacher. Haru Asai, a 35-year-old former soccer player. Do the soccer player one. Tsuyoshi Imagawa, 37-year-old.
I'm just gonna put in like the big old picture
Yeah.
that we
By
had
the way,
there of like all of them, because it's like when you see the full crew, it's just like
none of these
yeah,
people are
middle-aged,
like, yeah, exactly. 37-year-old, blah, blah, blah. A 45-year-old former head of management at the Manpuku Geino production talent agency.
He's the
And,
only one that looks kind of middle-aged.
Yeah, exactly. And he's supposed
Which
to be
one?
45
The one
years
with,
He's
old.
like,
supposed to be 45.
the one with
The
like the
tan one.
pocket net, yeah.
Yeah. And then
Yeah, pretty cool.
the blonde one with the rose in the poster art is supposed to be 41 years old. That man is supposed to be 41 years old.
Yeah, okay.
I hope I can look that like young when I hit like 30 or some shit. Like honestly, like what the fuck, man.
Fire, don't you mean 60?
Yeah,
Yeah.
again, do you know who else is 41 years old?
Wait.
Tomokazu Sugita is 41 years old.
Yeah, exactly. Fucking.
Fire,
Anyway,
you know what? You want to know the secret?
what?
All you have to do is eat bugs.
Nakamura,
Yeah,
42.
just eat the bugs,
Yeah,
dude.
again, we need a reality TV show of Nakamura and Sugita trying to become idols at 40 years old.
Pretty much. The funny thing is they'll probably do it's like they should have it so they just do the same activities as before, like the radio stuff, like the podcast and everything, but they just act like they're idols, like they're like 20-year-old
they
idols. They
yeah,
just
they
role
have
play.
to yeah, they have to role play as if they're 20 years younger.
Yeah. Anyways. So I just thought that was funny, just so including that. But anyways,
How old
Not
is
a not
Jack?
a middle age, by the way, 35 apparently.
yeah, exactly.
The life expectancy in Japan is in a scary position, evidently.
Anyways, so that was it for the news. Again, very short news, some around. And we move right on here to our last segment of the day here in our shout outs and call outs. Everybody here gets one shout out and one call out each. Shout out is one thing that you want to praise, 5 out of 5. Just clap in joy over the thought of it existing. And can be any one person, place, or thing. And call outs, of course, the exact opposite 0 stars, rage, just your face gets red just thinking about it. And it can be, again, any one person, place, or thing. And we start with Dark. What do you have for us? Shout outs and shout out call out, please.
I think my shout out is going to be yeah, I'm gonna shout out fucking Spider-Man on PC. That game is good. And I can't wait for Miles Morales. It's just a good ass, a really good ass game. And yeah, I don't even know how to really describe it. Just from the get-go in that game, the way that game opens and everything, it's kind of just like, reminding you that, yeah, Insomniac kind of knows what they're fucking doing with a video game. So, great stuff there.
What's this about a leak?
There's a leak
Wasn't there a leak about something?
about Spider-Man?
Yeah.
There was so in the game files for Spider-Man, there's
Yeah.
there's a Sony, like it's like a Sony games like launcher, like files for a launcher. So a lot of people are thinking that Sony is thinking of sort of making their own PC launcher, potentially in their own storefront as well, which I think would be a huge waste of resources for Sony, because it's like they were already selling their games on both Steam and Epic. So
Yeah, plus the problem is like, sure, you're gonna, you like Steam takes a 30% cut. But like, do you really want to put in the fucking R&D to make a proper store and launcher and spend that money when you're releasing like, I don't know, like fucking 5 games?
like two
Like a
games like
console
a
cycle?
year. Yeah.
Yeah, again, it's like your entire console's life cycle is gonna see like 5 fucking games. So like, relax, really. Because reminder, Spider-Man's not even a PS5 game. That is technically a PS4 game. So you're looking at the new like Spider-Man. The only PS5 games right now that are coming out really is the New Horizon, which I think was available on PS4.
Yes.
Or you're gonna have Spider-Man 2, the new God of War.
I forget, was Days
Last of Us
Gone?
remake.
Was Days Gone on PS4?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, Days
Damn.
Gone was on also one of the earlier games on PC as well because of that. It came out way before PS5. Yeah, just like, that is a massive waste of money. The other leak, wasn't really a leak though, that happened was also that people found them testing a co-op mode. That there was a co-op mode for the Spider-Man game in development as well at some point. So that would be very, very interesting to see in Spider-Man 2 if they do decide to go that route.
And your call out?
I'm just gonna call out fucking. Yeah, I'm just gonna call it Tower of Fantasy.
Oh, wait, why?
I mean, because I've just been fucking playing it nonstop, and it's like, fuck, dude. Like this is what it's gonna be, huh? Like, we're gonna get a new fucking gotcha open world collectathon game, and I'm gonna be fucking addicted to it for hours and hours and hours.
You need to go cold
You
turkey,
know,
my guy. That's what I did.
yeah,
I
whatever.
can't
Nah,
help
I'll
it.
just play all of them, honestly.
I'll,
Like
I
I'll play
think I'll
Tower
just
of Fantasy, and then
die.
when Weathering
I'll just
comes
become.
out, I'll fucking play that, and I'll collect
Yeah.
everything, and then I'll stop.
uh,
And and then I'll just like always play Genshin because I'm fucking trapped. About it.
I'll just die like this. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
this is just my life now. So
All right. Well, thank you, Dark. Nier, what about you? Shout out call, please.
Shoutouts to the German baseball stream. That shit was fucking insane.
Ball
Yeah,
Fondler is freed.
yeah, thank God.
Or rather, XXX Ball Fondler.
As for callouts, I'm not too sure. I mean, I kind of want to reopen it, but I do want to call out Square Enix because the Final Fantasy 14 6.2 patch notes dropped, right? And in the patch notes, there is they're adding the option to increase the size of cooldowns on your hotbar, which, about, I don't know, 2 months ago, Square Enix was banning people for doing that with plugins.
Wait, what do you mean increase the size of cooldown?
The number.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Cool.
Square Enix was fucking banning people for doing that.
Sick.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, they were banning people if they were doing it on stream, right? It wasn't so much so that they're banning them because of that.
I mean, it doesn't really matter.
Granted, they
like, it's
shouldn't
literally
be,
an accessibility option. Like, the game is fucking 12 years old, like 10, 11 years old, and we're seriously having fucking accessibility options be banned. Like, some people can't read the fucking tiny numbers. Some people can't read the shitty fucking colors on the map, which is also in the patch notes, by the way. And, God forbid, you have a fucking millisecond of that on a stream, you get fucking banned. It's
Wait,
like,
what colors you can change? Can you change
yeah,
the
you
AoEs
can
now?
change the colors of the fucking quest objectives on the map now, on the fucking dog
That's
shit map.
crazy, dude.
Yeah, game's
Now
fucking
that's
11 years
wild.
old, by the way. It's like people are really out here being like, it takes
Well, listen,
the
dude,
fucking
it's
Final
server
Fantasy
stress.
dev team 10 plus years and fucking actual, like, legitimate Twitter drama over fucking banning people for, like, literally the tiniest thing for them to implement, like, a single one UI quality of life improvement. And people are still out here being like, oh, well, if you don't want to get banned, don't break the rules. It's like, like people clearly have to break the rules to get the game to go in the right
Right.
direction. So
Well, yeah, I mean I would say more of the major problem is more so that like the Final Fantasy 14 community is very much like up its own ass about literally just accepting excuses, especially at face value, where you're just like, hey, why is this thing fucking shitty? And they're just like, oh, it's like server stress, it's impossible. And it's like, just say that you're not fucking working on it because you don't want to.
yeah,
That's what the
or
answer
just
is.
or
I mean, it's
just
the
say
same
that
thing.
you
Like, I think we have
didn't think
800
about it. Like
slots now, right? In
yeah, and like
for
a
our
year
fucking
ago,
clam. And a year ago,
yeah,
that
a
was
year ago they were
impossible.
like,
Absolutely, just
adding more slots to the glamour dresser
completely
is literally
impossible.
impossible. Adding more glamour plates is literally impossible, and we've gotten both of those within the last like 6 months. So, like, you know, like just stop having this fucking mindset where it's like, oh well, breaking a single rule that deserves a ban, regardless of whether it's literally just fucking modding in colorblind options because the game doesn't have those. Like, hello? Like that's fucking psychotic. The
That's
game
not how
clearly like
Japanese developers work.
yeah, like we
Yeah,
clearly need
you
to
ban
Oh yeah,
everybody.
break
that is the
we
problem.
clearly need to
It's
break the fucking rules and show the devs that the game can be improved by literally the smallest thing for them to be like,
No, if you do
huh,
that,
wow.
that's cheating. You
If
can't
we
do that.
Well,
if we
I mean,
That's
it's the
if we
bad.
same. It's a
change
Okay?
the
very
font size and change some RGB values on this UI option, wow, that's a huge accessibility option
well. I mean,
that
also
improves our
look at
like
Hrothgar
No.
ears. Like
it's so
Hrothgar
it's
ears
yeah,
being on hair now too. It was
so
like, why
dumb.
didn't this
It's like
come out
No,
so
with the
dumb.
hair?
no, you're hacking. You're hacking near.
Yeah, it's
That's
like your
bad. I
beast
mean, Japan
race
needs to kill.
just doesn't have its
Japan
ears,
prepare
but it was
to be
impossible.
stabbed by the samurai sword near. You're dead.
Yeah.
You're already dead on the
Yeah.
screen.
And
Just
you've ruined the sanctity of the
Yeah,
game.
exactly. No, the
yeah.
thing is, people think that on like people who like justify, like Japanese developers doing that shit, legitimately post shit like Japanese. You'll see Japanese
Yes,
comments saying
dude.
that sort of shit.
They'll say shit
Like,
like,
Well,
"Oh, dude,
the
it's the
problem
creative
is
vision. It's the
because
creative
people
vision
are
of the game
like,
to not have colorblind options, dude."
yeah.
It's like, no, it's not.
And it's like, no. Well, but I mean, like, that's why I think the discussion should be more so like, it should be like you really shouldn't be banning people if like you have a visual example that what they're doing is running colorblind options because like then it's like you're banning them for running an add-on because that's against TOS, sure. But what you're seeing on screen is colorblind options. Like, so you
Yeah,
have
like
to, you literally already had to identify what they're doing. But I think also then again, it's like it becomes part of the community's responsibility to more so be like, not be like, oh, we shouldn't be banning people for like add-ons on stream. It should be like, what are you fucking morons doing that your game doesn't have colorblind options? It's like,
Mhm. Yeah, exactly.
because again, like that happened with like, I mean, it's also shit like why by default, why can't I just fucking like whitelist debuffs and buffs and shit and just manage like those parts of my bars way easier? It's like, well, you're not allowed to do that. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
exactly. But anyways, thank you, Nier, for helping to or for your shout out and call out. Uh, Toast, what about you?
My
Shout out
shout
call,
out,
please.
my shout out is the stuff I want. You know what? No, I don't shout out. I'm gonna shout out Midnight Grand Orchestra. Good job.
Okay.
Next time, get more songs.
Damn.
And your call out?
Also, it was like Inutakwe and the band look really weird compared to Soisei. Like their green screen not that good. Soisei look good though. But yeah, get more
Okay.
songs.
Call out?
Call out. I don't. You know what? You know what? You know what I'm gonna call out?
Boom.
I don't like Western VTubers anymore.
I was ahead of the
I was
curve. I was ahead
actually
of the
about to call.
curve.
I was about to call. You know who was
I was ahead of the
Alright,
curve. I was talking shit from day one, baby.
I don't know, man. I think you guys are really reading into like that Silverveil stuff way too much. I think
Oh,
she's.
I
I
mean,
think
I'm
she's
not
just
even really.
fucking stupid.
Well,
I think,
yeah, I'm not even
I think
really
she's
reading
just
into it.
saying
It's just
shit.
more so that like.
she's ignorant is the thing.
I mean, I don't even know if I'd call it ignorance. It is straight up just like, I mean, it's like a Callie tweet where you're just like,
Yeah, like
you
she
just
just
don't know
doesn't
what you're
know.
fucking
Like she
talking
literally
about.
doesn't know what she's
Like,
talking about, and she's talking
Yeah.
like she does. And then, you know, the issue is that she's doing that in an environment where she's being interviewed, and it's going to be
Yeah.
put into an article. It's like this is an environment where you really got to be careful what you're saying. Like you
Yeah.
can't
Yeah.
really bust shit out willy nilly.
But remember they have total freedom.
I mean, they do, but that doesn't mean you have total freedom to be a fucking dumbass. Like, you know, like again, you're being interviewed. It's a professional setting. So, and you're also keep in mind she's being interviewed, and regardless of how much freedom she has, she's being interviewed like as a representative of her like the corporation she's under, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, you can't really just be out here being like, oh yeah, we're cool and awesome, unlike those other guys. And it's like,
Yeah.
you know,
You
those
have
other
to
guys are literally like giants of the industry.
Yeah.
You
I
can,
mean,
you know,
the
you
thing is
can
you
point
also
to scandals and stuff and be like, yeah, you know, some stuff here and there is a bit too restrictive, and we're not about that. But you can't really be like, yeah, we're cool, we're
the
free,
well, the thing is
unlike
also
them.
you have to be very careful. It's not, I mean, the whole like idol
well, it
culture,
was also
whatever.
equating
That's like one.
freedom, like, not even to the right thing either. Which is another thing,
I
too.
mean, the important thing is the most important thing is that if you try to like, regardless of like what the generalizations are, whatever, blah 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 blah, you can be very well like sue for libel and stuff like that if you cross the line like that too much. It's like if you can't just be like, oh, these
I mean, it's not even
fucking
like sued for
agencies are like,
libel. It's just like, dude, you're literally kicking a hornet's nest. Like, your company's gonna be like, you're a fucking idiot. Bye. Like,
yeah, as well as the
shouldn't be
viewers.
talking shit
Yeah,
about people who we honestly like could potentially try to have
Collab
collabs in our
with,
fucking
yes.
back pocket.
yeah, exactly.
Like what the fuck? or even not even like just like official collabs, like super official.
Yeah.
We might just have people wanting to fucking like do that, like want to play on it, right? I mean, it's like
Mhm.
look at what I had brought up too is like, you know, for the authenticity thing, it's like, okay, like Pikami might not be and Voms might not be the most like, it's not really like, it's not like, you know, they're still doing character stuff, but it is still pretty authentic. Like they're bringing their outside lives into it. They're able to talk about that stuff. I mean, even Hololive in a lot of ways is able to do that.
I mean, the thing
But
is,
they're
people
also just
keep
like, you know, I can have like a significant other and everything. And it's like, well, yeah, but also at the same time, I really don't think a lot of V Shoujo shit would actually take super kindly to that in practice. So I think that was like another kind of irony in a way. But
I mean,
ultimately, it's like
the
Voms, like Pikami's playing on the Voms Minecraft server, right? And it's like, you know, or not Voms, the V Shoujo Minecraft server. So it's like, where do you draw the line then for like what you're trying to essentially like shit talk?
I
I
mean,
mean
again,
the
I don't really think she was like shit talking them. Like, I
Well, I
just
mean,
think
in the sense of like
she's
not
genuinely unaware
understanding
of
like
like what the
how
actual
this
culture
works.
is at those like companies.
I mean, I think it's not even that. I think it's not an idea really. I mean, I've been on the forefront of complaining about, Japanese idol culture mixing with, virtual YouTubers since literally like before Hololive was even a thing. But it's like, um, but the what Silverville or whatever the fuck her name is, was doing in that interview, and part of why it's a little bit of a mud fight, of a dangerous social media mud fight to get into, is because when she's like, "Oh, look at me. I'm V Shoujo, we're doing authenticity." It doesn't really have much to do with the actual conversation of what it means to be authentic because she doesn't care about selling, she doesn't care about being authentic. All these streamers, and I mean every single one of the streamers, whether they are good people or not, they are not trying to be authentic. They're trying to sell authenticity at the end of the day because that's how they get their value. That's how they get people into watching their stuff because then they think they gain the charisma from that. That is how, if you define charisma as sort of direction, fooling people into being like, oh, that person knows what he's talking about. That person is the good person. It's just like how, a certain previous former president has charisma regardless of your opinions on him. He has a charisma because he can fool people into being like, oh, I'm the real businessman or whatever the fuck, right? So
Yeah,
it
or
is
just like
that they're trying
he
to.
just like me
Yeah, exactly.
for
So
real.
the dangerous part of that conversation that she puts in the interview is irrelevant to her, the agency, the culture, whatever. It is the fact that she is trying to sell authenticity as a product, and now she is pulling this question of like she's literally now floating this very dangerous discussion, not dangerous discussion, but like a very like nobody's going to be happy discussing this, but she's going to be bringing this discussion of like what it means to be authentic in a crowd where everybody's getting fucking suckered by a bunch of cam girls and whatever, trying to pretend like they're being authentic or pretend like they're being, whatever lore or say so or whatever thing it is. And it's just, selling a product. So it was just a very dangerous thing to do in an interview, and yeah, I agree with Toast where it's like,
Name
it wasn't
dropping
very
the
good of her.
name dropping the first Hololive and then a revision putting Niji Sanji in there either too. It's like, oh, why
Yeah,
would you do
that's the
that?
best too. It's like the revision. Let's just dig the hole deeper in the revision. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But
Niji
yeah, it
Sanji,
was very.
totally an idol company, just like Hololive. Just
I
group them
mean,
together like that.
they kind of. I
Again,
mean, in a way,
the
they are,
yes,
but it's also
no, no, no,
like,
yeah, yes.
so are
The
you.
discussion,
Like,
yeah,
you're using
yes,
like a
that's the
mask.
dangerous part of the conversation. Yes, this is it's not about Hall Life or Niji Sanji or whatever. The dangerous part of the interview is that she's trying to sell a product without she's not selling snake oil, but she's trying to sell a product without alerting the people who are listening to her interview about what the product is. Like she's trying to be like, "Yo, I'm the real deal, guys." But honestly, she's lying. Like let's like look at this with open eyes, right? It's so
Yeah, well,
that's the
I mean,
dangerous
it's like
part.
you might think like you're the like quote unquote like oh you're super real, you're authentic, but it's like I mean,
You're
not
all
even
trying to
just
sell
saying
something.
like selling a product. It's like, do you really want to just air all your shit on stream? Like
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
even if you were a
Or
cam like
even the
a
real sort
face
of
cam
mood.
streamer, it's like
Even the people who are like trying to say that they're being authentic and stuff like that, their voices, they every streamer, every like bigger streamer and stuff like that, they all have their streaming tone of voice, just the voice alone. The real voice that people use and the voice that they use to stream are different. So that the personalities they show on stream, like usually like exaggerations and the like, right? That's all different. So to debate this idea of authenticity and who's selling the authentic product and blah 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 blah, it's a very it's turtles all the way
Yeah,
down.
I think it kind of muddies probably like the better discussion of like, since
What
you're
do we want?
not selling authenticity, like since you're,
Yeah.
or rather since it's not authentic, like what happens off stream, whether it leaks or not, fucking stays
Mhm.
off stream, and like, behaving in that manner. Again, where it's
Mm.
like, streamer dramas or like idol dramas start popping up, and it's like, these companies should be stepping in and being like, these streamers aren't trying to sell you that anyway, so you can't be like, just because you have some knowledge you shouldn't be privy to, like, shut the fuck up. It should
Yeah.
basically, like, is kind of more so what I would rather be seeing from, this type of, I guess, like, thought process.
Mhm. But yeah, it's very
Man,
unfortunate.
it's the problem with Vishojo is that the people there are themselves, right? So they have no filter. So I sure love hearing political drama, and like I don't want to hear political drama or all of that, man. I just want to be entertained. This isn't.
I mean,
You're
I feel like there's definitely like ways to approach that on a stream, but
You just have
like
to know your
again, like
audience
I just
if you're
don't
selling the
think.
product. That's all. You just have to know
Yeah,
your audience.
it's yeah. Again, it's like what you want to do, right? Like
Yeah.
again, the
You have to know,
authenticity thing.
you have to be reasonable, and you have to know your audience.
Yeah,
Obviously, if you can't sell. I'm sorry to all of the Nazi sympathizers out there, but if your audience, if you're targeting a bunch of Nazis, you probably shouldn't do that. But within reasonable bounds, you should sell to your audience. So, but yeah. Anyways, thank.
being.
Shout out.
If being yourself is all that great, then why does Salome have 1.5 million subscribers and is the fastest VTuber to reach
well,
that?
that's because they botted. But
Yeah. But
But
anyways,
but even if people say she's bought it, she's also super entertaining, and she's not herself.
yeah, I
oh
mean,
yeah,
she's
I mean
definitely
again,
super
that
entertaining.
is the
Nobody's
point
debating that
of
Salome is not.
like a
Yeah.
streamer, right?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, you
That's
want them to be themselves in the sense of you want them to be what they want to bring to the stream, right? Like you don't
Mhm.
want them to have like a fucking Jekyll and Hyde like scenario.
Yeah.
I
But
don't
you
know,
Because
man.
it's
also
trying
you
for
don't
people.
want to know everything about like the person who you're watching stream. And I guarantee you the same shit goes for fucking V Shoujo girls, whether like she wants to accept that or not.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how you foster parasocial relationships.
Oh
You
yeah, I
need a
mean that's
degree of
another issue
separation
too.
between
I mean,
yourself
it's
and.
always gonna be.
Definitely don't want to be selling people that like, you're seeing like all of me. Like, no, that's fine. But also, I
Yeah.
mean, I guess we, to not harp on this too long, that could also open up another debate of like, what even, like, what's authenticity, right? Like,
Or like,
is
do
there
we want
certain
authenticity?
shit,
What
there's
do we
certain
want?
shit, like, you could be best friends with people and you don't tell them everything because it's not appropriate. Like,
Mhm.
As long as you're not lying about something really central to your character, like oh, I'm bound in a wheelchair, and then suddenly on a stream mistake you get up and walk around, and it's like, ooh,
oh yeah, I mean, that's just fucking weird.
I don't know. That's weird because nobody would. What? I don't even understand that example actually. But
You'd have
it
to,
happened.
it would have to be a live action wait,
That's
what?
literally happened.
It
by the
happened,
way,
yeah.
That's
wait, as in like the
Bro.
people thought that the real person was bound to a wheelchair, but
Yeah,
she wasn't.
that was a big thing back in the day.
Well, I mean, you
Okay.
also
Well, I
wait
mean, that's a little
for like
bit.
a VTuber.
That's a bit.
No, a regular streamer.
Yeah, just a regular.
Oh, I
regular.
mean that's
I mean,
just
that's
fucking
yeah.
deranged. Like that's
Yeah,
not
that's
even
that's I think a slightly different
authenticity. Like
conversation.
you're fucking
Yeah,
psychotic.
yeah, exactly. That's
Um,
a slightly different conversation.
Which again,
But
yeah, is not really, you know. But yeah, there is a. I don't know. I think people also again like they misinterpret authenticity for like you're gonna fucking know every single little thing about me. You know, it's like like a Kit Bogus stream I would call authentic, right? Like he
yeah.
is saying things that, you know, he's not like playing things like super safe. He has his audience and like he's garnered like, you know, people who are more like-minded and whatnot, and he voices himself, and you know, people who don't particularly agree with him but watch his streams may get banned because of shit that they say or do. Not in a totalitarian way, but you know, if there are people who genuinely join those streams and get racist, but
Yeah.
you know, he's not out here giving away like people don't know his name. They don't know particularly like where he lives. But you know, that doesn't make it less authentic in that way.
Well, he's doing the job that he's not
Yeah, like his
pretending to
stream
do
is
what
set up
he's
to be something and he's executing that for his audience.
yeah, exactly.
What about that
And-
German guy? He's a
And not
psycho.
holding a
I
gun
wouldn't
to his
believe him.
head.
You think
Yeah, I
Germa's
mean, I
fake? I
think
don't think Germa's fake.
I don't think Germa died like years ago.
Anyways,
This is Germa 986 is who we've got right now.
Don't, or what about
Yeah.
7? Because is it 7 now? Because the replacement stream.
Oh shit, that
And
is
then he
true.
came back.
anyways, we should stop this conversation. Thank you for your
Yeah.
shout out.
I don't like dirty laundry being aired. Just whatever, man.
Yeah. Anyways, thank you, Toast. And I guess I'll go last. I guess I have to do the shout out, but it's like kind of related to Toast stuff, so I'll just do it after. But call out is to like just I don't know, just people who are like knee deep into anime stuff or like visual novel stuff or whatever, but then they don't even bother to have like a lick of Japanese. It's not even like it's okay to not like really understand Japanese, but then like at least try to like pronounce the names and stuff. Like, come on, like the Fortnite people who are like pronouncing all the Kamehameha stuff wrong.
The
I'm
Kami
like,
Mama.
Tell me, mama.
Kamehameha or whatever it was. The Kamehameha.
I think it was the Came He Ha Ha.
Yeah, exactly. And the as well as again when I was playing I started playing Melty Blood again. There was a bunch of people in other discords just like spewing like all this like fucking lore about Tsukihime and Fade and Nasuverse, and just like they were like spouting wiki facts like out the wazoo. And then the moment just like the Japanese tweets and like patch updates and stuff like that dropped, it took them like fucking a day to translate like 4 paragraphs of like text. 4 paragraphs. That was it. And it took like people a day. And it's just like, guys, you guys have like 50 million people in this Discord, and they're all just like they just like know everything about, you know, the Nasuverse fate. And you guys are telling me like none of you motherfuckers speak a lick of Japanese? Like, come on, guys. Like
Well,
put
look,
some bag into it.
Spire,
I'm
Spire
gonna be
fake red
fair,
order
right? Because
is in English,
I
okay?
don't either. But my biggest barrier right now is I'm too lazy to go torrent some books.
Yeah.
Spire, you have to
Reading? What the
remember.
fuck?
You have to remember,
Well, I mean, it's
Spire,
not even
fake
just the
red
act
order.
of reading. It's literally
English.
like I'm too lazy to torrent this shit.
You can just go on the website. You don't have to. You don't. Honestly, a lot of
I'm
these,
never going
the
to
Japanese
buy
books
something
are like.
for that, Spire. I don't buy knowledge.
No, I said like they're free websites. I don't buy shit. I
But
hate buying
stealing
books.
it
and
is
stuff
so
like-
much more fun.
That is true. Piracy is the best option.
When you're like, wow,
that is not an official
this
opinion of the
textbook is like
Anime Cast.
fucking $5,000.
Yeah, I
And
want to
it's
steal
all
it right
mine.
now. Yeah, exactly. But yeah, there are definitely for those of you who are interested, there are free resources out there, like websites and stuff
Yeah,
like
like
that. Just
Duolingo.
yeah, like Duolingo, the best language learning
The
program.
premier
But
language learning platform.
yeah, yeah, exactly. So screw you guys. Come on, just put some back into it. And then my shout out is again slightly related to Toast Call Out is to I've been slowly kind of getting back into, like watching more VTuber stuff, although I have been watching a slow
Prove
like
it, Spire. Who's your
sporadic stream.
Who's your favorite
Yeah, name
VTuber?
every VTuber.
Name every yeah, exactly. Right now.
Hey,
All
Spire.
the VTubers, starting from A to Z.
Here's
Um
Spire. Name your favorite VTubers. One Japanese, one English, one Korean. Go.
Punk Korean? What the fuck is I mean,
I can
oh
name
yeah,
one.
that there was something that stressed me out. I watched like Korean streamers too. Like I watched regular like Japanese and Korean streamers, not like VTubers. And like recently some of the Korean streamers, like the bigger Korean streamers, game streamers have like started to meet up with like the VTubers and stuff like that. And it's just like it's really stressing me out. I don't want those worlds to collide. I hate that shit. Like I just want fuck. I don't want the VTuber world to collide with like the Korean streamer world because it's like they have different cultures and it's like I like the way that the Korean streamers are doing their shit and I don't want that mixing with whatever is going on in VTuber world right now. But there was what is it? What the fuck was I gonna say? So some of those like streamers have like VTuber avatars too now, which is fucking I hate that shit. But what I was actually going to shout out was recently I've been pretty hooked into this one VTuber called Nanami. I forget what her last name was. But essentially her real life job behind the avatar is she was a former like cabaret girl slash like brothel worker and she's like had a lot of experience and she pretty much her streams have like devolved into just like her answering like marshmallows and like giving advice on like what if you are going to go to a brothel like what brothels to go to, what to avoid, if you are going to have sex with somebody, like tips on whatever, not don't be afraid of this, like don't be afraid if you're not blah blah blah, stuff like
Step
that.
one: stop watching VTubers.
Yes, stop watching VTubers. That's a good one too. But that and just like advice in general. And I think she is honestly a living proof that again, it's sort of this sort of thing is honestly my ideal where it's like VTubers ultimately all you need is an avatar. A VTuber is just an avatar wall, a 2D wall that, you know, people can hide themselves so they don't have to necessarily be known by their face and stuff like that to the outside world. And they can kind of just talk about their experiences and people enjoy it. And they don't always have to be like harassed and stuff like that. And so, I mean, although obviously VTubers are still harassed, but obviously much less than if they start, showing their faces and stuff like that. So I think this is sort of the world of VTubers that I wanted, where again, people can kind of share information freely. People can kind of um, talk about their stuff, what they can bring to the table in terms of streaming and stuff like that, and just kind of be hidden by this avatar that can kind of do funny things and add like extra entertainment value. But and I think that's sort of the, in a sense, this like VTuber elitism, like purist kind of in me arising. But I think this is much more healthy than fucking, the VTuber idol, whatever the fuck discussion is going on, and like, oh, we got 3D 4.0 models happening on whatever, and we're gonna do all this shit, and like, there's this lore, and the lore is connected to the music video, and then the music video is, oh, blah blah blah. Like that shit is very like not, it's whatever to me. And I think, again, a VTuber at its core should be just, again, just what they bring to the table as human beings, but with the avatar wall up in front of them. And some of these VTubers, again, like that one I mentioned, Nanami, have shown to me that there's still some good people out there. So that was my shout out.
If you like her so much, Spire, why haven't you linked her channel?
I
If
should
you
link
like
her
her so
channel.
much,
I
how come
can
you haven't sent
super chat.
$5,000 through Super
Yeah,
Chat?
exactly.
Fuck.
Also, Spire, you say you watch Korean streamers, right?
What?
You say you watch Korean streams, right?
Yes, sir. I do.
How many of them are React to Andes?
What the fuck are
Ooh,
react
that's true.
Indian?
Yeah.
What does that mean?
This guy is literally on a Twitch stream right now and doesn't know what that means.
I don't know what that means. This is her.
React Andy is you basically just watch YouTube videos.
Oh yeah, all you do
you
is
just do
those
React
people.
content, yeah.
I feel like no, I really
Andy is
I
literally
really
just
hate.
a
No,
nothing
no, no. I
filler
know,
word.
I know. I don't think I watch like any channels that I actually legitimately hate people that are just like I'm sure they're good people. I'm not saying they're bad people. I just never watch those sorts of channels because they're like
Listen,
it's like
man,
watching
we've
paint
done
dry.
React content.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
but we do it
we're not.
sparingly. It's not your main
Yeah, we
source
do
of
it
content.
very sparingly. We do it like once a year, I think, like at most.
Less
But
than that.
yeah, exactly. But most of the stuff honestly I don't even like game streaming content that much these days.
What?
Like even for like fighting games and stuff like that, I don't really like watching streamers like just like stream games for like hours on end. What I really enjoy watching is like when streamers start like making like obviously when they tell like funny stories and like react to viewers doing funny things like for instance like sometimes a funny thing that people will do is like a streamer will be like, "Hey, I'm hungry, so I'm gonna do a roulette of like what I'm gonna eat." But
Oh, mukbangs?
every time
Gross.
every time a viewer donates, but the choices are like all the viewer only the I'll only eat from the choices that the viewers donate. So it's like if you donate like $1,000, or sorry, not $1,000, but 1,001 or like $1 or $2 or $5 or whatever, and you're like, hey, eat this. The viewers like eat this thing or order this thing. Then they'll put it on the roulette. But then like the viewers go like, you should eat. Uh, it's like you should eat spaghetti pasta without the sauce, just the fucking noodles, just cooked noodles. Or they'll
That's
be like,
easy.
you should just eat like a grain of rice, or like you should eat 2 spoonfuls of sesame oil, or like shit like that, or and it just like starts piling on, or like you should eat grasshoppers, and it's like it starts like just getting like worse and worse and worse. And sooner or later, it's just like a fucking roulette full of like shitty foods and like one person who was like pizza and stuff like I really enjoy shit like that where it's like they have to like battle back like banter back between the viewers
You
and
know what
stuff
you
like
should
that.
do,
And
Spire?
also,
You
yeah,
should you should have watched Germa's food tier list.
I've seen some clips of that, but there's also the thing where it's like I guess in a sense the closest thing would be like Ludwig and like German, like everybody kind of doing those sorts of collabs, right? But it's like when good streamers start like building their network, and then they just like start just like casually calling each other, or start just doing banter between each other, or like they have this like kind of pretend thing, like where it's like they're obviously like friends or like buddies, but they all always like shit talk each other in the middle. It's like, why the fuck do you always do that? Or like, why are you such a goddamn psychopath or whatever? And they start like just like shit talking each other during the middle of games or whatever it is, right? I really enjoy that like 10 times more than like watching the 100th, League of Legends stream or whatever the fuck.
You know what,
So
Spire? I'm gonna be the opposite. I hate watching Germa's collab streams
I like
I
watching
think
Germa's collab streams
because
because
I think it
he's
depends.
so
I think
he's
obviously
so
it's
he's
not for
bad.
completely out of
everybody.
place.
Yeah, he's so bad.
Yeah, I think obviously again it's not for everybody, and I think it also depends on the people involved. Like some people are very good at like bantering and like doing collabs and like really kind of like hitting back and forth, and like especially like the people I watch, they are like almost better than like professional comedians, and like just being like, okay, I'm gonna go in with this like this, or like I'm gonna like toss this comedic thing in. I'm gonna back out of the convo. Okay, the convo is slowing down. There's some like dead air. I'm gonna go back and like they're very good at doing that. And like unless you're extremely good at just going back and forth and not losing your pace, not stuttering, being like, oh, you think you're that hot shit, or like boom, 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 it's very hard to do. So it obviously again depends on the actual streamers as
No,
well.
Spire. I mean, Jim was really bad. That Fortnite stream, a
Yeah.
disaster. I need to watch it again. Call of Duty, he grenaded himself. Jesus Christ. And then what else?
Yeah.
I mean, like all his collab streams are horrendous. You should watch them.
I should.
Horrendous as in he's plays so bad and he's so out of place. It's great. Good. It's good content.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the sort of stuff I enjoy. So, anyways, that was a much longer shout out than expected. But yeah, those still good people out there. So watch them. Don't get caught up in this fucking whatever nonsense. The discussion debates that are going on. But yeah, that was my shout out and call out. And with that, we are done with the 4th episode again of the Spring 2022 reviews. The next episode, I believe you are going to be in episodes. Most series should be in episodes 8 or 9. So we're going to be rounding up the 3rd quarter. That's probably going to be our final set of reviews for this season. And then we are going to head straight on into the fall 2022 previews. We do have some sort of airtime between. We're probably going to have some airtime between the fall preview season and when the stuff actually starts airing, when the fall season starts airing, so we can actually review it. So since we are going to have that airtime, we are going to have a sidecast. What the exact topic is, we have not decided yet. But we are going to have a sidecast, and then we're going to fall straight into again the fall reviews for the season. So that's going to be our general timeline. And if you do like what we do, we stream our podcast recording every other Saturday over at twitch.tv/4PlayAnimecast, again with the numeral 4. We start again every other Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we record our live recordings of the podcast on Twitch highlights as well as on YouTube, so you can view it on whichever format you desire. Again, YouTube 4PlayAnimecast, as well as check us out. We have updates on and news on our social media platforms on Facebook and on Twitter. Facebook 4PlayAnimecast, Twitter handle at 4PBAnimecast, all with the numeral 4 for the latest and greatest in Japanese animation media, anime, manga, light novels, web novels, visual novels, and so much more. So check us out here, check us out there. And as always, we'll see you next time.